Welcome to another edition of the 411 Talk Zone radio show, Wednesday edition. My name is Leon Jones, and during this segment, I'm going to mix it up with a little bit of health, and I'm going to mix it up with some all some old slogans like, what does it mean when you hear that cliche, if mom's happy, everyone's happy. And there's another cliche out there, happy wife is a happy life. And also, I am going to talk about something. It might be gross to some people. How are you doing, Celine? But it's very important, especially when you get older. And I'm going to talk about bowel movements. Now, you might think a bowel movement is gross, but when that bowel movement gets blooded, that's when you have a problem. So, how do you know when you have a healthy bowel movement? Now, I'm the only one on YouTube doing this. And also, if you want some more information tonight, Teapot will be streaming right about 9:30. Get on over to his channel. And tomorrow, Little Big Nate will be streaming. So, I'm going to say this. And thank you, Celine. And we always want to check up on you. Well, what I'm going to say tonight is, and this topic came from Tommy Jean, my old sweet chocolate. And I should have done this topic a long time ago, but I'm going to do it tonight. And I'm going to talk about, first of all, talk about bowel movements. I also have a poll out there that talks about processed foods. Are they really healthy for you? And something else I'm going to start doing with my channel, and shout out to brother Men's Daily, get to his channel. Start doing a little bit of pre-recorded content again, just to warm up with the streams. I like doing pre-recorded content because that actually puts me in my element. So I'm going to say this as well. A shout out to everybody who's doing content, regardless of what it is, and regardless if you agree with it or you don't agree with it. The more and more I do YouTube, it can be a little confusing. But one thing I want to tell you, a YouTube policy that is now in effect, some people have hid their subscriber count. I don't hide mine. Now YouTube says you got to show your subscriber count. That's a fact. So, something I want to tell you all too, if you want me to do a topic for you, just let me know what it is. I'm going to go ahead and try to email some of these other folks out here to let them know I'm up. But first, let's get into here. Let them know I'm up. Let's get into the what about bowel movements. Let me share my screen because this is very important to me. I'm going to go into my and this is called different types of poop. And I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Okay, poop, also known as stool or feces, is a standard part of the digestive process. Poop contains waste products that the body eliminates. So it may contain or it may include undigested food, particles, bacteria, salts, and other substances. Now, sometimes poop can vary in color, texture, amount, and odor. These differences can be concerning, but usually these changes are not significant and will resolve itself in a day or two. Other times, however, changes in poop indicate a more serious condition. Again, very important that you understand what poop really is. A lot of us don't know about it. All right, let me continue to read here, and then I'm going to show you the chart. Facts on types of poop. Again, poop can come in different shapes, colors, and smells. A person should pass a normal, healthy poop with minimal strain. Anyone who has blood in their stool should seek urgent medical attention. Again, I'm doing this for health purposes. It's very important that you understand health. Now, what I have here is what I call your basic Bristol stool chart. Now, this is what poop looks like when you're constipated. It looks like type 1, separate hard lumps. And when you're very constipated, it's very hard to come out. It's very, very painful. Type 2, lumpy and sausage like. That's slightly constipated. Type 3, a sausage shape with cracks in the surface, and that's generally normal. The one that you want to have is this very smooth sausage or snake type. Now, when you start getting into the soft blobs with clear cut edges, that means you're lacking fiber. And then when it's mushy, you have some inflammation, and that's coming with the type that's mushy consistency with ragged edges. Now, again, dealing with poop. Hold on one moment. People don't understand what poop really is. Now, hold on one moment while I get my YouTube back up. I kind of cut down my YouTube. Here we go. All right. Let me finish showing you the chart here. All right. Pardon me for the interruptions. All right. Getting back to the chart. You have one more type 7. This is what you really got to beware of. When it's very liquidy, no solid pieces, you have inflammation, and then you have diarrhea. Now, devised by doctors of the Bristol Royal Infirmary, England, and based on bowel movements of nearly 2,000 people, the Bristol chart characterizes different types of poop as I just showed you. Now, again, types 1 and 2 indicate constipation. Types 3 and 4 are healthy stool, while types 5 through 7 suggest diarrhea or, of course, urgency. Again, we all have to poop, but we should know what it really is. So I'm going to break down the types so you'll really know what you're dealing with. Now, again, this topic may be boring to some, but that's okay. I'm not looking for a big audience tonight. This is something you need to know. I found it in Medical News Today. Of course, Tommy Jean sent me some of this information too. Now, when we deal with normal poop or normal fecal matter, the color is basically medium to dark brown. It contains a pigment called bilirubin, which forms when red blood cells break down. It's very strong smelling, and the reason why it's strong smelling because there's bacteria in excrement, and that emits gases that contain the unpleasant odor associated with poop. It's pain-free to pass. A healthy bowel movement should be painless and require minimal strain. Normal poop is also soft to firm in texture. Doctors consider poop passed in one single piece or a few smaller pieces to signify a healthy bowel. Now, the long sausage-like shape of poop is due to the shape of the intestines. So, when we talk about poop, most of us poop once or twice daily, although others may poop every other day or 3 times daily. At a minimum, a person should pass a stool 3 times a week. So you don't have to go every day like a number of health professionals say. Now, it's better for you because you relieve yourself of bloating, constipation, you clean yourself out. And that's the whole purpose, to get all the waste out. Now, when it comes to normal poop, it's consistent in its characteristics. A healthy poop varies from person to person. However, people should monitor any changes in smell, firmness, frequency, or color of poop because it can indicate an issue. Um, Good afternoon, Carol. You're brand new. Welcome to the 411 Talk Zone radio show. Again, I'm doing a health product and I love it, and I'm going to continue to do it tonight. Now, when it comes to poop or fecal matter, how long should a poop take? It should take about 15 minutes to pass the stool with a minimum of 10 minutes. People that take longer than this may have constipation, hemorrhoids, or another condition. Now, of course, when it comes to fecal matter or poop colors, while brown is considered the usual color of poop, some greenish brown hues may also be acceptable. Poop can also be other colors as well. And I'm going to get to that in a moment. Just give me one moment while I continue to get it down. Okay. As I deal with the colors, and I'm only using, by the way, I'm only using one monitor, so it might take me a little slower than usual. All right. Getting back to the colors of poop or fecal matter, black stools, black stools, especially if they have the appearance of tar, suggest gastrointestinal bleeding, while other substances may also cause black poop, such as iron supplements, black licorice, black stout, bismuth medications. White, if stools are white, gray, or pale, a person may have an issue with the liver or gallbladder, as pale stools suggest a lack of bile. Now, some anti diarrhea medications cause white stools. Now, of course, some of us, and I've had it before, green poop. Usually that comes from vegetables that are green, like kale, spinach, or other green foods that cause green poop. However, green colored stool may signify too much bile and not enough bilirubin in the poop. Now, another one we may have is, of course, red. And when you have red poop, that may be the result of lower gastrointestinal bleeding. Small amounts of blood in the stool can indicate hemorrhoids. Eating beets or red berries or drinking beet or tomato juice also turns poop red. Now, once these foods have passed through the digestive tract, poop should become brown again. Of course, orange. Consuming many orange colored foods, which are rich in a pigment called beta carotene, causes an orange stool. And these foods include carrots, sweet potatoes, and winter. Correction. Carrots, sweet potatoes, and winter squash are among the many foods that contain this pigment. However, block bile ducts or certain medications, including some antacids and the antibiotic rifampin, can also cause orange poop. Now, if it's yellow or greasy looking, the poop contains too much fat. This may result from absorption issues or difficulty producing enzymes or bile. Again, shout out to the chat. I got the poll up. If you hadn't seen the poll, I'm going to give you, I got 11 votes already. And this is what I'm connecting the dots with tonight, because a lot of the foods that we eat aren't good for you. So the poll question tonight is, are processed foods good for you? Right now, 9% said yes, 91% said no. As I move on. Again, when we deal with poop or fecal matter, talked about the normal. Now I'm going to talk about the abnormal. When you have an abnormal stool, here's what's happening. You're actually going to the bathroom too much, or you're not pooping enough. You could also be straining. There's also poop that is red, black, green, yellow, or white. If your stools are greasy, if you have pain, blood in the stool, watery poop, very hard, dry poop that is difficult to pass, floating poop, and of course, for the most part, if you have pain, usually that comes from problems with hemorrhoids. You should also you should also go see a doctor if symptoms keep occurring. Now, the reasons why people experience poop that is different from usual, and I'm getting back to some more health terms. Number one, stress. Stress can trigger and exacerbate digestive conditions such as irritable bowel syndrome, IBS. It can affect how quickly food moves through the body, which can cause either diarrhea or constipation for some people. Dehydration. And I live here in Indiana, and because the weather is very, very hot here, not drinking enough water and other fluids can lead to constipation, as stool requires moisture to move more easily through the digestive tract. Also, if you drink alcohol or drink too much coffee, that can contribute to, of course, dehydration. And along those lines, some some of the big ones are coming into play here. Lack of dietary fiber. Fiber acts as a binding substance to give stool its form. It also helps poop to move smoothly through the digestive tract. Now, a diet in low fiber foods such as fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and pulses can lead to bowel problems. Also, food intolerance and allergies. So, people with an intolerance or an allergy to certain foods can experience diarrhea, constipation, and other traits of abnormal poop when they consume problematic food. For example, people with lactose intolerance often experience diarrhea if they have dairy, while those with celiac disease will have an adverse reaction to gluten. Again, certain medical conditions can cause constipation, diarrhea, poop abnormalities, and some examples are, and I'm going to get to the examples. Hey, what's going on, brother? Men's Daily, welcome to the chat. Good to see you. Some of the medical conditions, and as we have talked about red pill, we talk about medical here. Medical conditions, when we deal with poop abnormalities, depression, cancer, an overactive or underactive thyroid, inflammatory bowel disease known as IBD, IBS, inflammatory bowel syndrome, Parkinson's disease. So, when we deal with constipation, a person may have constipation if they have difficulty emptying the large bowel. They're also straining when they poop. They're passing less stool than usual. Their stool is lumpy, dry, or hard. Also, when we deal with pooping, it may also result from lifestyle or routine changes such as inactivity. You need some physical activity. One of the reasons why America is a little bit more obese than other countries, because a number of us, we don't do any type of physical activity. Laxatives, that also causes problems. So when to consult a doctor? Well, if you have changes in poop that's 2 weeks or more, or people should seek immediate medical treatment if the stool is bright red, black, or a tarry substance. These symptoms suggest a blood loss, which could become an emergency if left untreated. And that emergency is a medical emergency. So, something you need to know is as we talk about health, a lot of us, including myself during the pandemic, got lazy. Well, that's why I'm putting this out here. So many of us won't be lazy because in America, a number of us have gained weight because of the pandemic, and it starts to lead to some of these abnormal colors in your stools. And I'm just telling people when you see that, you definitely need to consult the doctor. Now, something you need to know how to ensure healthy bowels. Well, to ensure healthy bowel function and healthy poops, people can follow these tips. Eat enough fiber. Aim to get the recommended daily amount of fiber, which is 25 grams for women, 38 grams for men under 50 years old. People like me, over 50. If you're a woman over 50, you should aim for 21 grams, while men over 50 should aim for 30 grams daily. Drink plenty of water. The amount is 8 glasses, which is 64 ounces per day. It is important to stay hydrated when consuming more fiber. Take probiotics. Now, probiotics may restore the natural balance of bacteria in the gut, although some yogurts and drinks can also provide probiotics. These beneficial bacteria are also in capsule form. Try magnesium. Magnesium hydroxide often treats constipation because it is safe for most people, although doctors do not recommend it for people with renal insufficiency. Biggest thing is lifestyle changes, and I've said that a few times. And when I'm talking about lifestyle changes, I'm talking about people who smoke, who drink. Well, the lifestyle changes do include smoking. If you're smoking now, you need to stop smoking. You also need to look at the type and level of exercise and anxiety management to help control a person's bowel movement. Now, a well functioning digestive system is essential for health and well being. Why? Because it suggests that a person is eating a balanced diet. And shout out to the chat. Got my poll up. Again, if you haven't voted, vote in the poll. Right now, I've got 13 votes. Are processed foods good for you? 8 said yes. No said 92%. Again, let's definitely move on. And then we're going to get in some other material. All right. Poop abnormalities. And let me say that again. Poop abnormalities that consist or that persist. Now, if you have persistent abnormalities, it can lead to complications. For example, ongoing diarrhea can result in nutritional deficiencies or, in severe cases, malnutrition, while constipation can cause bowel obstructions. Now, again, to sum it all up, a person's poop tends to be brown, soft to firm in texture, and easy to pass. If someone experiences changes in poop, they should monitor the changes and consult a doctor if the issue does not resolve in 2 weeks. So, to encourage the bowel function, a person should eat a fiber rich diet, should exercise regularly, reduce stress, and drink lots of water to stay hydrated. Now, again, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the link to this article in the chat so you all can actually Read it for yourself. Here is the link. Take a look at it. There you go. It's in the chat. Now, before I go something else that you need. When it comes to gluten, well, you can check for gluten intolerance with an at home testing kit. And they have a lot of them out there. So I will stop sharing that. And I'm going to go on to something else because I've been hearing this time after time after time. Okay. What does it mean, happy life, happy wife? And the other term, what does it mean if mom is not happy, no one is happy? Now, I've heard those sayings pretty much of my whole adult life. And as a man, I never believed in them because what it appears to be is it's about the woman. Everything's about her. Now, again, this is not a video that's going to be talking about women. I just need to know what that means. Shout out Cortez Smith. Brother Cortez, he was also in Nate's channel last night. He's in mine, and he'll probably tell me what the definition of happy wife, happy life is. I've seen that. And it means men must worship women whole, forgetting about his own well-being. Facts. That's facts. And I've always said in my dating rules, never put a woman on a pedestal. That's where we guys make a mistake. First of all, if she's not already happy, it's not your job to make her happy. And with all this about the mom, if mom's not happy, no one's happy. Well, mom is not running a household unless she's there with the children by herself. First of all, we need to get away from those cliches because, first of all, and I'm not an expert on relationships, never intended to be an expert, but when we start hearing a lot of these sayings out here as men, we need to start debunking these so called sayings because here in America, we already have enough people that don't like us. Okay. You have a number of men who are in power and they're giving the women the power. Now, it's not the women's fault. So strap on your seatbelts for what I'm about to tell you. See, when it comes to men, unless you're a mama's boy, and I'm going to talk about mama's boys as well, a lot of mama's boys tend to follow their mothers and they're, for the most part, they're emasculated. They don't understand what it is to be a man. But when it comes to men, we don't spend money like women do. So the government has ways to get men to spend money. That's through, i.e., child support and divorce. With alimony, women are big consumers. Women keep a number of the retail businesses going on. They keep a number of restaurants going on. They do because women spend the money. Now, is it wise for women to spend a lot of money? No, but let's be honest. Here in America, America is a corporation. It is. And one of the reasons why men don't go to college is because we don't want to spend that money and get a degree that is going to put us in a lot of debt. See, when we deal with money as men, we're dealing with investing. We're trying to grow our money. We're trying to live not just for today, but for tomorrow. There are a number of women out there who live just for today. And women can get money today from working, they can use their bodies, they have education, they will spend a lot of money. Again, chat, let's get the likes up. If you're watching in the clouds, let's get the likes up. I just shown you a, I just gave you a good, good bit of information on what you need to do if your poop is bad. Celine says, I have debt from community college paid off. I am able through a program to take a sterilization tech course for free. Good. If you're going to go to college, again, get into something that is marketable. But again, when it comes to this happy life, happy wife type of saying, now I'm one that doesn't like it. I've heard it before. Sure, a number of men have heard it before. If mom's not happy, no one is happy. Well, if mom is not happy, she shouldn't even be there. Okay, she shouldn't even be a mom. And a happy wife, first of all, and this is common sense. If you're going to deal with any type of relationship, it's not a one-way street. It's a two-way street. Now, a lot of us guys, just to keep her happy, we have catered to her and we've created monsters out here. Now, that is our fault. Just like we should children, one of the things we don't do to adults, we don't say no because we're afraid of that reaction. Well, we need to start saying no because if we do, there will be less problems. Celine says the woman should cater to her man and her man should treat her well in return. Well, that's right. It's a give and take situation. But you have a number of women, and I've seen it on YouTube, but particularly when I watch Kendra G's videos. Now, a number of the women on Kendra G's show, and I'm not going to use any of her videos. In fact, when I do videos, I just use my own videos. I I don't believe that these women on Kendra G's show are really telling the truth. I mean, they want a man with a lot of money, but they don't have a lot of money. They talk about being entrepreneurs. Well, what does that really mean? Owning a business, believe it or not, is a job. The only difference is you don't work for anybody else, but you're responsible for the people that work for you. You're responsible for your product. And a number of individuals don't understand that. Again, when it comes to happy life, happy wife, she's not already happy when she gets to the altar. Don't marry her. And as a guy, this isn't really game here. This is just pure common sense. And I'm not telling you to go out and sleep around. Save your time, save your stress. And, that's why I started this. Well, Tommy Jean, shout out to her. She gave me the information on poop, but stress is a big killer. And when you have a lot of issues going on with yourself and from other people, and they start to come at you at once, your thinking gets very impulsive. And then you stop thinking with a purpose. You start thinking on emotion. And again, critical thinking is clouded by emotion. Now, here's what I'm going to tell you. When you deal with people in general, you deal with people who have a like mind. You don't deal with people who don't have a like mind. And that goes for anything and everything we do. And you get people out there, if you hear somebody bragging out there about their successes, there's nothing wrong with being successful. However, just because you're successful, that doesn't mean you're better than the next person. You were a little more ambitious, doesn't mean you're any smarter. But we have a lot of people out here who are not happy people. They're bitter people. I mean, you look at what happened, and I'm not going to talk about it, the Roe versus Wade situation. Okay. Well, because people were thinking with their emotions, Roe versus Wade was overturned on a federal level, not on a state level. So if you're in a state that is not going to honor abortion, you can go to the states that have it. You can still get it. Now, I know there were a number of individuals, including men. Now, why are men going to be upset about abortion? Now, we know it is murder, but murder happens every day. About that incident that happened in Highland Park in Chicago. There was a lady shot in the head in Kokomo, Indiana. Violence is around us. But when we talk about happy life, happy wife, Cortez, he had his own meaning of it, which that is true. But where does that come from? Does it mean that as a man, we have to give her everything while she does nothing? That's almost the attitude of entitlement. But there are a lot of men who will cater to that. Why? Because they don't have confidence in themselves. Now, I will tell a man this: do not lead everything with money. And just because they're your wife, it doesn't mean that she's going to be happy with everything you do. You see, you have a number of women out here who really live a life through fantasy. You even have 40, 50-year olds trying to be 20 again, trying to compete with their daughters. Well, that really doesn't work. It doesn't work because, for the most part, when you age, you should have more wisdom. Now, I always hear this, well, I'm not going to settle. Well, for the most part, when you interact with somebody that you share some compatibilities with. But this old happy wife, happy life, or if mom's not happy, no one's happy, that's just something that we need to throw out of the window. And too many of us, we've used that old cliche. Let me go back to the poll. All right, 16 votes. Are processed foods good for you? 6 say yes, 94% say no. Again, 6% said yes, 94% say no. Hey, I want everybody to get the likes up, and I will be honest for you. I'll be honest with you. This might not be the most interesting topic, but I think health health is very important because if your health isn't there, because I'm going to flip flop between subjects here, if your health isn't there, you're not going to live for a long time. Salute cybertoxin. You got to have health. Health can be wealth. Now, as a guy, I hear the word happiness. First of all, guys, we have to continue to be producers. We're not looked at as someone to be happy. We're looked at as someone to produce. And we already have to be confident with ourselves. Well, happy wife, happy life. I want some more people to give me their general, and this is just general, or mom is happy, everyone else is happy. What does that really mean? I mean, I have my own theory about it, but all of us men have heard that. Is that cliche a guilt trip because she's not getting her way? Is that a shaming tactic? And as a guy, is that something that she's going to use to hold sex over your head? There's a number of questions that have to be answered. And I will drop the link if you all want to come on up because I'm almost at an hour. Just bear with me. Just wanted to get myself in there. All right. I'm going to drop the link and let's have a discussion. Some of these topics. All right, the link is dropped. I dropped it twice, so click on that link if you want to come up. If you don't, I'm going to just keep on talking. Now, what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to get you all to think about something. And this is going to be a reflection of you. Where do you stand health wise? What are you doing for yourself? Shout out to Celine. Nate and Ragnarok did really cheer me up. It shook me up to see a stream with my name in it. I didn't want to cause trouble. Well, what stream was that, Celine? I heard it last night. I don't know what stream that was. You got to let me know this. But again, I've dropped the link. But I want everybody to take a look at themselves. Are you satisfied with yourself? I mean, the old happy wife, happy life syndrome. Is it another person's responsibility to bring you happiness? Or should you already be happy? Shout up. Come on up. What's going on, brother Big Bot? Hey, let me mod you up. About time you got in there. I got to mod you up. I got to mod you up, my brother. All right, brother Matt, you have a wrench. Hey, brother Matt, I dropped the link. You can come on up. Here's another person up there. Glad you're speaking on health as I'm dealing with the stomach virus. Oh, what are you doing for your stomach virus, brother Cole? And welcome to the chat. You're brand new. What are you doing for your stomach virus? Let me know because see now your stomach virus is going to play a part in what I talked about earlier about pooping. If you got a stomach virus, then we have an issue. Brother Matt, you'll be able to, brother Matt, you'll be able to click on a link now that I modded you up. You'll be able to click on the link from the chat. You can click on it, brother Matt, from the chat. You know, you can click on it from the chat. You already got a wrench, brother Matt. Click on it from the chat. Anybody new? If I mod you up, the link is in the chat. Again, well, that's good, brother Cole. Drinking a lot of water, and you've been dealing with it since Saturday. You need to continue to get hydrated because a virus, that's where you have all of the diarrhea problems, plus some fruit. Very good. And Celine says it was good, mothers. I don't want to start trouble. I just want to vent. Okay. All right. Well, I didn't even see that stream. So, again, sorry to hear that your name was mentioned in her um, stream. But, again, you're welcome to vent. Again, I'm going to email the link to some people. Hold on one moment. All right. All right. I am emailing Matt, Big Body. Here we go. The link. All right. All right. Brother Matt, I just emailed you the link. So you can come right on. Again, what you got to do, Brother Cole, get yourself a lot of rest. And wherever you are, it's summertime, it's warm. And what's going on, Brother Abdullah? Welcome to the chat. Again, what I'm talking about for you all who would just join, I'll drop the link one more time. I'm hitting an hour. And the link is in the chat for people who want to come up. Oh, you live in Arizona. Well, it's hot, hazy, and humid out. Well, it's hot. It's hot out there, not hazy and humid. Brother Matt, what's going on?
Yo,
What's
what's
going
up,
on? Hey,
Leon?
all right. Hey, man, you're a moderator now, man. I gave you a wrench, so you can easily click the link while you're in the chat now. You see that wrench by your name? You deserved it. Hey, I'm talking about health, brother.
Oh man, yeah, man. Health is important, man. Hell yeah.
I got a question to ask you, brother, and it's in my title. You've heard this,
What's going
so
on?
I'm going to repeat it to you. We're going to give you something straight.
Talk to me.
What in the world does happy wife, happy life mean? Or what does it mean if mom is happy, everyone else is happy? What say you on that? I want to hear a raw because we've heard that and it's disgusting.
As long as she's satisfied, so shut the fuck up. You ain't got to worry about nobody nagging you or getting on your damn nerves. You know, all man wants to do is just make his money, eat a meal, wash his ass, and get ready for the next day. You know, maybe a little sex in between, but man don't
Right.
require much. But you know, when it comes to the woman, you know, as long as she's happy, you give her whatever the fuck she wants, she shuts the fuck up, and the rest of the day goes on smooth, man.
Well, is that true
And
that
when
a
I say
number of
whatever, I mean whatever.
right now is that true that some are some of them satisfied because in the long run, and this is not a woman
No,
bashing,
they're never really satisfied, man. They never really are, man. But
right?
it's like a temporary hold, you know.
Okay, okay. Now, is that temporary hold really worth the time? I mean,
I mean, you
to me,
know, it buys you time, if anything.
right? Buys you time. Well, yeah, it can, but I've heard that, and a number of individuals, bro. Like I said, and I wish you didn't miss it. You can probably go on later on. Tommy Jean sent me the topic, and I'm glad she did. I should have done it 4 years ago. Believe it or not, talks about health and how your poop looks. Yes, I had to because all that stress goes into what comes out of your backside for the waste. And if it's bad, brother, that's some stress in there. And as a man,
Yes,
well, you think
yeah,
about
that's
it.
right, man. Yeah, you're right, man. You shit. You
Go ahead, bro. Celine says, I don't know how it goes, but
no, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
yeah, Celine has a comment. I don't know how it goes for BW, but white women tend to shut up after that. That's the happy wife.
No, I said shit tells a lot what's going on with you, man.
And Celine said, "There's a lady named Submissive Wife Happy Life on YouTube. I never heard of it. Never heard of her. I don't look at much female
Well, I mean,
content.
he's on point, but then also,
Yeah, your phone kind of
he's on to something, but it also depends on what type of white woman, because you got
you got your mud sharks out there who hang out with black women
you
and
got your
some of
hood, know not to shut the fuck and always trying to put that fucking
well,
those sedity, nose in the air type shit. But they stay in the lane. Then you got your
right,
fucking white women that are just fucking airheads. But I find
right,
the white women that mainly come from. I find the white women that come from a lot of economically depressed areas, or they come from like trailer trash areas. They're the ones that
right.
are hard to fucking satisfy. They're the ones that don't really shut the fuck up.
So they're like BWs. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, they got a touch of black in them.
Oh, okay. Cortez Smith said her name is Rada. Wow, Rada. Celine says white women tend to be very entitled. Well, there are a number of them are, especially in the West. And something else that's happening here in America. Let's just be honest. We have a high obesity rate in America too. We know we do. And again,
Oh man,
yeah.
you know,
I mean,
I always wonder. I see this a lot, especially with the summer being here, and people out working out, running around, jogging, and trying to keep the body right. You don't see too many of our sisters out there running the
I knew,
track opposed to white women.
I knew that was coming, brother. I, I knew. Well, that's true. That's true because I do a little bit myself, and in this 100-degree heat, I do a little. I don't have a treadmill, but I jog in place, and that's tough too. But you're right, and I don't know why. I don't know what. I have an idea.
I can't figure it out, man. Black woman will drop a baby out her ass and sit around and wait for the fucking body to snap back. Meanwhile, Rebecca will drop a couple babies out her ass and be on that track with that fucking stroller, jogging with the baby, getting that pussy tight and ready for Timmy to come home from work and beat that thing up again, just so she could swell up, drop another baby out her ass, and go back and hit the fucking treadmill again, man.
That's true.
Oh, did I say something wrong? Oh, excuse me.
Brother Cortez says, I see sisters walking on the treadmill. Walking. Now,
Damn.
he put it in capital letters because usually on the treadmill, when walking, I mean, usually I hit that treadmill. I'm running on that treadmill. Or if I don't have one, I'm running in place. I do about 10, 15 miles a day. And you got to break a sweat out there, and all this means a lot. And there's something else. It's what we're eating, and most of us are eating processed foods. Now, I know we talk about sugar. A lot of things we eat has sugar in it, but yeah, Matt, I know why some of them don't want to hit the pool or hit that mill. They're afraid to get their hair wet and hair sweaty. Let's just be honest. Let's just be honest.
They're worried about the image in the wrong fucking way, man. They rather walk outside with their fucking hair and their nails done and their ass lifted in the fucking air instead of their fucking midsection slim and their blood sugar levels correct, They're worried about the wrong shit, man.
And Celine says she brisk walk on an incline treadmill, which is good. Brother Abdul says Timmy keeping him busy, barefoot, pregnant in the kitchen. Brother Cortez. And after that's got too big, when they're young, they refuse to work out. They're too arrogant. Now I tell you, I believe you got to do some. I believe you got to do some type of exercise because, for the most part, especially as black men, what I try to do is get rid of some of this stomach. But this old cliche. that happy wife, happy life. It never made sense to me. Or if mom is happy, everyone else is happy. Well, why should we allow that? Why should we allow her to or revolve our happiness around her? That's not fair. That's not fair. I know life isn't fair, but it seems like that gives her the entitlement complex that she rules the roost even if she's not doing anything. Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And Cortez said the incline makes it better, burns way more calories. That's true. And Celine likes to swim. And I'm putting this up there because, man, it was 100 degrees, hot days and humid. It was 90 degrees today. But one thing we got to do as men, we got to work on our health. A lot of us don't work on health. And I see too many of us, and I work outside in the field. I'm sure you do physical work too, Matt. But there are a number of us.
I mean, lately, yeah, because I run a pallet yard now, so I get a little busy. Sometimes I go out there with my employees, and just to show them that I burn a sweat with them. I don't want them thinking they're slaves. So yeah, I get a little busy every now and then, and then I still run freight with my truck once in a while.
Yeah, but see, you're doing some hands-on. You're doing some physical work. Like when I'm outside, even in the heat, I'm walking. I'm doing what I can do as well. Celine just said her dad turned 60 and he's in great shape. Well, there are a lot of us who live in the West, and there are a lot of things going wrong with them. And I say this because, first of all, when we actually go and we poop, we don't understand the colors of it, but some colors can be very, very bad, especially if you have blood in your stools. You got to watch out because you're looking at some potential cancer. You got to watch what you eat out here. Again, for the most part, many of us, brother, we're not watching what we eat. Uh, Brother Cole says, I've been sediment in the last 4 years of my truck driving career, and now injuries have kicked in. Wow. Yeah, man, that's wow. Going back to my poll, I got 20 votes so far. Are processed foods good for you? 10% say yes,
Fuck
90%
no.
say no. Right, right.
Fuck no. Anything that has to have a chemical added to it so it can live longer or stay more pure. Nah, fuck no, man. No.
And there are a lot of us that aren't getting enough fiber per day either. A lot
Nah.
of us. And we're not. And I'll tell you something else that's happening, brother, man. And it gets hot out there because I lived in Pennsylvania, I've been to New Jersey. What also is happening, a lot of us aren't drinking a lot of good water. I said good water, not bad water, good water. And let's just be honest. You got a lot of people, let's just be honest, especially Negroes, they love drinking some soda, man.
Yeah, well, a lot of us ain't drinking water, period, man. I'd rather drink bad water than no water at all.
Yeah, yeah. Shout out to Cortez, who said yes during my poll I just took. We need an explanation. Absolutely. Well, something else, brother. When you go to the store, now do you have Speedway out there in New Jersey? It's called Speedway. They bought all the Hess gas stations. You probably
Yeah,
have.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, go in there now, and all right, something to tell you. Watch those energy drinks as well. Watch
Ah,
those. Yeah, what? Watch all of those energy drinks. Those energy drinks, some of them, like they say 7-Eleven on there, they got a lot of sugar in them. And of course, Brother Cortez says the Fago sodas. Wow, they still make Fago sodas. Wow. And Celine says, I like lemonade and iced tea during the summer. Now, how much sugar do you put in that? Hey Matt, you drink that stuff, don't you? Well, you don't drink that. like you used to.
Nah, man, I've been switching up, man. I've been doing a lot of herbs and alkaline water and sea moss.
Oh,
I'm really been trying to flush my shit, man. I'm transitioning, man.
well, you know what? That's another that goes by what I talked about earlier, lifestyle. And see, you're cleaning yourself out, and you don't have to strain when you go to the bathroom. A lot of us do
Nah,
strain. I mean, yeah.
nah, that sea moss pushes a lot of that shit up out of you, man. Let me share a little something,
Yeah, go ahead,
to
brother.
the fellas, cause I'm a heavy set man. But I had to make some adjustments because to all the fellas out there, man. I'm going to my late 30s. I'll be 37 this month. And I started noticing. I said I had to catch it before it started becoming a serious issue. I started having some dick issues, man. I still catching erection
Oh,
and shit. Yeah, I still
woo.
catching erection, but I noticed like my happy time was getting shortened. And then I'm like, wait a minute. And then there's sometimes that motherfucker be in the middle of I'll be in the middle of fucking, and he'll just run out of gas on me. So I realized I had to start
Oh,
switching with my diet, man. What I was eating, what I was putting in my body, I had to start flushing myself, man. And I'm getting back to normal now. I'm starting to see the results of the shit. When I lay the smack down, but I noticed that diet and health is everything, man. Because I see what you say about when you take a shit, the color of your shit really matters. But also you have other
right.
things that can alert you as far as catching an erection. You know how your dick acts. Your
Uh,
blood flow.
well, you know what? I want to talk about that too. Peace. Shout out to brother Isaiah and brother Cedric Cole. What's everybody's thoughts on water fasting? Water fasting. You got to keep hydrated. You can fast from food, but you need to put some good water in there. But going back to something you said, brother, I remember I had that problem. So you know what I did? I did do a little bit of running and some squats. Let me. You
Right.
already know. You already know what I'm going to say about the issue because me and my friend Osprey talked about that. When you can't see down there, look at your stomach. That'll tell you something. And there are a number of guys out there who have what do you call that? Low T. And I'm not even saying that for the sexual part. I'm saying that for energy, period. And your work, you're right about that, brother Matt. Cortez says, I do it sometimes. I feel more energized. It's what you do. And I never had that sea moss. What's that taste like?
It tastes like shit. I'll be honest with you. You can do things to make it taste better, but it still has a rough taste. So you got to acquire a liking to it, man. But it does results. It gives you results, man, and it helps. It helps, detoxify a lot of shit out of poisons and shit out your body. Makes you shit like a motherfucker, man. And
Right.
it definitely burns a lot of the bullshit out of your body, a lot, and
Well,
gives you a lot of the nutrition and the supplements and stuff that you miss, your body's missing and needs. It puts it back in you, man. But it tastes
right.
like shit
So,
though.
right. So, something else that we have to look at as well. No, we probably this is open panel too. So, I haven't. Nobody else has given me their version of happy wife, happy life, except for you and brother Cortez. But something else we got to watch out too. Watch the gas station food. In the hood, most of the people go to these gas stations. I know I've done it myself. That food is processed. And then that food, okay, you go in there at 5 o'clock and that food's been sitting there since 2 o'clock. Don't even buy it. Okay. Don't even buy it. It's bad.
Yeah,
Uh if
I
you can eat this is for you, brother Matt. Cortez says if you can eat seaweed, sea moss is tolerable. Wow, I never had seaweed. Cortez also, how long should
I never had seaweed either, but
wow.
I never had
Brother,
seaweed either. But shit, I wouldn't be against it.
I don't think I'd be against it either. Brother Cole is trying to reset his body. He's hitting 46 this month. And also, brother Isaiah says watermelon fast works more effective. Effectively cleans your blood out. Now, okay, the watermelon, let me tell you, if you go in the store, watch the type of watermelon you get. You have your GMO watermelon, it looks just like a ball, a basketball, sphere. But if you're going to get a watermelon, try to find those oblong, those big, long watermelons.
You want
Ah,
your watermelon with some seeds in them, man. Honestly, this seedless shit, I know that's some scientific shit made in the lab, man. Because, you know, the seed is where the beginning of everything starts at, man. So something to be seedless, I ain't fucking with it, man.
that's that's true. That's why I say the oblong watermelon still had those brown seeds in there. Now the one that looks like a ball, they say it's seedless. It has those small white seed. That's your scientific, your GMO type of watermelon. Cybertoxin, does cortisol disturb proper testosterone balance? It could. You have to watch out for which medicine you take too. Like some of this Viagra stuff, you got to be careful. Um, and Brother Cortez also says it also depends. Gel sea moss has almost no taste. The pill tastes like seaweed, and this is going right down your alley, Brother Matt. Isaiah says seeded watermelon. Don't buy seedless and get the most ripe one. Right. And Cortez, I've done 16 hours without water, a day drinking water without eating. Wow. I don't know if I don't know if I could go without drinking water. That 16 hours, that's a long time because your body's got to
Well,
be
look at it like this.
hydrated.
Look at it like this, Leon. Look at it like this, man.
Yeah.
The body, we usually eat every day. What, three meals a day, 2 3 meals a day?
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you think about it, man, the body has a whole bunch of shit it goes through, the process it goes through before it gets from the top to the bottom, to the very bottom. I
Yeah, that's
think,
true.
and I believe we can at least go a day or two without eating, man. Because you figure if you're feeding yourself all those times a day, take that out and just eat once a day or skip a day. Your body's not going to die, man. It's just like
Yeah,
if
no,
you drive a car.
right.
It's just like if you drive a car. If you're filling that car up every day before it gets empty, you're keeping it going. But what about if you drive it till it's empty, then fill it? You know what I'm saying? Our body, we
Oh
never give
yeah.
our body the chance to get empty. We're always filling it, filling it, filling it, filling it. We never actually give it a chance to get empty. Our body can go a few days without getting empty, or a few days without being fed till it's empty.
Yeah, that's true. But you also want to clean it out because if you don't, man, because this is why, speaking of eating, one of the reasons why you have that pungent smell when you poop is because of what you're eating as well. Yeah, a lot of us
Or
don't know that.
you got a lot of shit
You got,
sitting on your colon walls and shit been sitting in you for over a few days or a week, probably even a month. Who knows? You know, beef takes the longest to process and get throughout your system. You know, you can only imagine what it smells like after sitting inside you for a week at a time.
speaking of beef, do you still eat beef?
I'm slowly breaking away from it, man. I'm slowly breaking away from that shit, man. I still, from time to time, but I'm not really too much of a fan of it, man, because it's hard. I'd say it's more harder for me to ingest it than pushing it out because it's like it's so thick. Even when you chew it and break it up, man, just going down, it's like
Yeah,
you
you got
feel the weight of it on you after you eat it. You feel it, opposed to like some chicken or some fish. And even chicken ain't that good for you. But you know, if you want to keep it
to.
light on your waistline,
That's true. Brother Cole says I'm going to try the panels and get suggestions for a month and see my results. And Brother Abdul says, okay, he's actually Muslim, so they celebrate Ramadan. He said we go without water from daybreak until sunset, but we eat at night and drink at night. Well, fast. Now I have fasted before, going along. Shit, I'm going all day without eating. I'm going all day without eating more than one time. You know, because with all this health food out here, and some of that is even bad for you because a lot of people don't read the ingredients. Now you mentioned something about beef, Matt, and yeah, beef is very, very. You got to watch what you get in the store. You do. A lot of people don't watch, and then you got to watch your vegetables too. A lot of people don't watch what they're getting in the stores. They don't read. They don't even read the ingredients.
Right.
And it's all about since you're changing your lifestyle, if you change it and you've gotten a little bit more physical and you've gotten your energy, how do you feel a lot better now? I know I do. Feel a lot
Man, I
more.
roll over. I roll over and wake up in the morning ready to go. I wake up with a stiff dick ready to bust a brick wall down, man. I wake up feeling like I'm fucking 19 years old some days, man. A lot of days more now than before. Because it's all about what you put in your body, man.
Yeah, yeah. Because I know you probably have gotten. Because I remember you used to head on over to Dunkin' Donuts. I don't hear you talk about that anymore.
Nah, I still do, but you know what I do when I heard the Dunkin' Donuts? I start off with a hot tea with lemon and no sugar.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. But
I like to
see,
start off my day with a hot beverage to break the fats down and expand and widen the stomach from the eat and the tea leaves, man. And then I'll go ahead and do my sea moss, take my herbal pills and all that shit. And then I go ahead and bowel movement and all that, and then bam, get my day started, man.
yeah. Well, here's something too that the yuppies are doing, and Brother Abdullah mentions it. Some of that processed vegan food you got to be wary of too. I don't do that vegan food. That
Nah,
tofu, nah, nah,
nah,
nah. You got,
nah.
and then yeah, nothing. Shout out to Brother Isaiah. Nothing processed is good, and that's the problem. I mean, you think about it when you go into McDonald's or something like that. You know that food, that meat they get is all processed, especially those chicken nuggets. They're all processed. All of them processed. What about soy? Uh, I haven't had soy. I heard that it was good for you, and then I heard it's not good for you.
I'm not really a fan of soy. I've heard that it has a lot of estrogen properties involved in it. It takes away from the testosterone levels.
I know where you're going. Soy boys. Yeah, but that's true. That's true. And now I'm not going to lie. Every once in a while, what are our thoughts on salmon? Salmon is pretty good for you. Fish, something like salmon and some lean meat and some chicken. That's good for you. That estrogen. Yep, Brother Abdul agrees with you, Brother Matt. That's what he's heard about soy too. That's true. That's true. In fact, you got to watch a lot of the stuff that you're taking too. I tell you something else that also will clean you out too, or help your digestive system. Try eating some yogurt, some decent yogurt. That'll drinking a good smoothie. Um, getting some decent green veg.
Smoothie,
Yeah, drink a.
smoothie. Yeah, when it comes to the fruits, yogurt, I don't really play with because it's dairy and it's milk. It's milk properties, which also harvest a whole lot of bacteria, man.
Yeah, but also with some bacteria, we need some good bacteria. There's good bacteria out there, but I know what you're saying. Apple cider vinegar, I take that also that helps your blood sugar. And see, what I'm trying to tell all the men out here, because you mentioned something, Matt, why you don't see the sisters jogging. Well, they're not even number one. They don't have a proper diet to really exercise. I mean, let's just be honest. I've
They
seen what
got
you.
a proper diet. They got a proper diet. And you got a proper diet, either smoking a blunt or
Yep.
having a glass of wine or wine and dining off a man's wallet. The sisters, them ones. You know what I mean? Eat some
Yeah.
McDonald's, or go to Little Caesars for her and the kids. Or
Well,
some oodles and noodles, hot dogs.
oh, now oodles and noodles. I don't even get into oodles and noodles. I haven't had those 800 milligrams of salt. Way too much. Now,
Well, no,
now
you take away the salt packet. Take away the salt packet and just have the noodle, and you can add your own shit to it. You can make a meal out of oodles and noodles. It's a salt packet that kills you.
yeah, there's a lot of salt in there. Oh, it's a lot of salt. You're right. Uh, and a lot of us don't understand about that salt. But yes, salt is definitely bad for you. All right, I got the link. Anybody else that wants to come up because we're having a good discussion. My poll is out, 21 votes, still the same. Are processed foods good for you? 10 say yes, 90% say no. Again, a lot of people, and it's a lot of people. And this is what when you're sitting down there pooping. Because I'll be honest with you, I had I strained one time, and I said, well, I'm not either. I don't have enough, which comes from not enough fiber, and then your hemorrhoids start to hurt, and that's painful. Okay, that's painful.
No, yeah.
Yeah, that's painful.
Oh, yeah.
And
Well,
I'm just trying to make.
you ever had to strain? You ever strain taking a shit and
Oh yeah,
you actually bust the skin in your asshole from straining? I don't know if you ever had
oh
that happen. That's a bitch.
yeah. In fact, when that happens, I mean, well, Tommy Jean got me some of them like Tux pads. Some hemorrhoids hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I
and
mean, it's even to a point where sometimes you got to use the damn, not the hydrocodone, the what's that called? The triple antibiotic ointment. You got to use that and cooling gel and tuck it up in there on the sore from your straining, from your skin breaking from straining. Yeah,
yeah, that
you gotta
stuff
go.
hurt.
Yeah, man, 'cause you figure if your skin breaks from straining from shitting, once you do shit, you gotta go ahead and clean that open area because you don't want the shit to mix in with the open wound. Because then we're talking cancerous type shit happening.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
and you got to watch out for no for blood in there. And
Yeah.
uh, Brother Abdullah says, I hear noodles in those Roman packs have no nutritional value. I haven't had those. The thing with noodles, he's talking about those ramen noodles, Matt.
Yeah.
The thing with, or if you're going to eat any pasta, okay, or anything that's got rice in there, okay. I know after I cook it, you got to wash that starch off, man. You see all that
Well, look,
white.
yeah, but you understand, you boil them. When you boil water, the boiling process cleans the water. So if you're boiling noodles, you're actually cleaning them. If you boil, like when you get water in Mexico, they always tell you make sure you boil it
I heard.
first.
I've actually heard that. Yes.
Yeah, so if you're boiling noodles in water, you're cleaning the noodles. You're cleaning them.
Now, usually after now me when I do noodles and spaghetti, I still after I finish boiling them, I still kind of cleanse everything off because it cleans. Yeah, it cleans that starch off. And something. And I never did it, brother Matt. Have you ever fried chicken, Matt, or made buffalo wings? Have you ever done
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
Let me ask
I've
you
done it.
something. I wasn't doing it. Now maybe you were doing it. I was buying chicken one time, and I took it right out of the pack. Maybe washed it off a little bit. I wasn't cleaning it like I should. You got to put it in that water and clean it. And I'm like, and of course, Tony Jean showed me how to, she cleans it. I mean, feathers and stuff in it. And I didn't even know that was in there. That's how naive I was. And I was cooking it,
Yeah,
kneading
you
it.
gotta wash that bird off, man. That bird is a dirty bird, man. And all meat,
Yeah,
period. But yeah, that bird.
yeah. Now, Brother Abdul says you get whole olives. Whole olives, you poop everything out. I've never had whole olives like that. I've had
Well, you know what else you could do? You know you could do with in place of whole olives,
what's
corn,
that?
corn goes in and comes out the same way, and it grabs along your track line and pulls that and lettuce actually. But corn actually goes in and comes out the same way.
You know that's
Pulls the shit out, man.
that's true. And I found too in some of the beverages that uh people are drinking now. Again, I live out here in the Midwest, so they don't call soda. They call soda pop.
Call it pop.
Yeah. Hey, Mahogany, how you doing? Thank you for passing through. Yeah, they call it pop. Welcome, welcome. Good to see you. Yeah, they call it pop. Okay. Now, I don't drink a lot of that stuff. Now, I, I see people in Walmart, they're buying pop more. They're buying pop like a champion. I can't drink pop or soda, especially that Coke. I was drinking some Pepsi Max and I stopped that. Now, the only thing that I do drink, I drink no sugar ginger ale. Hey, look forward to come on by as often as you can. Shout out to your sister. Hey, glad you came up. Glad you came up. But no, how much soda do you drink, Brother Matt? And have you seen people? Let's just be honest. When I went to the grocery store on Thursday, I saw people buying cases of soda.
Yeah,
Cases.
yeah. I tend to drink. I try to drink soda. Like if I have my vodka, I do my little, weekend warrior moments every now and then with the alcohol. But if I do my vodka, I try to chase it with some soda just to get a good burp. But I'm not a real big fan. I do a lot of water. I drink a lot of alkaline water, man. I try to keep my body flush and my skin pure, man. I do
Yeah,
a lot of water on the weekdays, and then on my weekends I have a little swig here and there. But I don't. I try to stick away from this. Now, if I eat a good meal and I feel too I need that good push and burp. I'll go get me a Pepsi or a Coke just to get that burp so it can move everything down the pipeline. But after that, I ain't really too pressed for it, man, because I don't try to let that sugar fucking calm my body to fucking just indulge in just drinking soda like it's water.
yeah, yeah. I don't drink that hardcore sugary stuff. There used to be something out there. No, they still have it. They have Pepsi. I saw it not too long ago. It says it has real cane sugar in it. Oh, that's got a lot of sugar in it. I can't drink that. Hey, Mahogany, how are you doing?
Hey, Leon. Hi, Big
Oh
Body
shit!
Productions, everybody in the chat.
Hey, how you doing? Welcome.
Thank you so much. Yes, I'm glad. I'm glad to see you you're doing excellent far as like consistency. I've been seeing you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we're talking about. You come to this channel. We're doing a lot of health stuff too. We're talking about that, and we're talking about proper diets. And I know you're in the health field, and it's been 100 degrees, and we're talking about beverages and water, and I know I exercise every day, and brother Big Body he exercises, and trying to change our lifestyle a little bit.
Well, I think it's great. I can actually it's been a long time since we've talked, but I know someone he's actually into fitness. I think doing a collab show, if you want to do more about the health and fitness, I think that would be good. I could definitely connect you two together. I think you would like that, or you both would like each other, because he does a lot of information about health, and so if you want to do it, just let me know. But I wanted to talk about um, you having an entitled happy wife, happy life.
Yeah, yeah, I did.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I actually think that that's kind of true. I know the men in this space probably won't agree, but I think there's a lot of truth to that. What do you think about it?
Well, here's what I think. I think it's an old cliche that is always used. Now, from my point of view, this is not smashing women, but from my point of view, it looks like a man's got to do everything to make her happy, but a relationship is a two-way street. It is.
Mm-hmm.
You
No.
should both you should both be doing for each other in a relationship. It's not about her or if mom is happy, everybody's happy. No, if mom is look, everybody's got to be happy for it to last. I mean, it's a two-way street.
I agree with that part. I've actually heard people say, well, it's not about her. She doesn't have to be happy. And the thing is, you're talking about human beings. Both people have to have some kind of satisfaction, or they're not going to want. Why would you want to stay in a relationship where you're not satisfied or happy with it with your life? Like, I don't think anybody would want to stay in that type of relationship.
Right.
So, both people do have to be happy. But I was thinking, I guess the way I was thinking about it is it's kind of hard when one person is not happy, particularly somebody that keeps the household going. Let's just say you're married and that woman is literally a lot of women, not all of them, it depends on the type of household they have, but a lot of women keep the household going. And so if they're in bad health or if they're just if it's not a happy situation, usually it does turn out to where the whole household kind of crumbles. So I think that's the way I look at it. I don't think it's necessarily saying that like who cares about the man. But I do know when I know for myself, like when my mom fell sick or whatever, everybody in the household felt it because she was the one who did everything. She was the one who kind of kept the engine going far as around the house.
Well, that's why you teach everybody in the household when the engine starts to break down to what I call stepping up. Because I know I had a mom and a dad, and
Hmm.
I learned how to cook. I learned how to clean,
Right.
and I still know how to do it. Like Tommy Jean here, I cook here. She cooks. We take
Hmm.
turns doing things, and it just makes everything a lot better. And I still go to work 10 hours a day. So in the end, it's about both parties. Now, like I said, I'm not going to be on some of this crazy manosphere stuff. I don't go that way because I try to keep things over here a little bit more informative because all that leads to health.
Hmm.
Because health is, and I'm 57 years old, and health starts to play very important. I mean, going to the doctor, eating right, changing lifestyles. Uh, yes, there's some foods out there that are very good, but I had to get rid of them because I was losing. You lose testosterone the older you get.
Uh-huh.
Uh, Getting dental appointments. Uh, get, you know, a lot of us don't think about that. And when I was doing videos on stress and anger management, some of that bad health can contribute to somebody being upset. And this is why I say, well, hey, look, take care of yourself. And what I look at is in the real world, when I see people walking with bad posture, I don't want that.
Hmm.
I know it's 90 something degrees out here. I still want to have some energy.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, you think about it. Look at some of the great R&B singers that have passed in their 50s. The Temptations, most of them. Luther Vandross,
Yeah.
Teddy Pendergrass. Who else? Rick
Joe
James.
Levert. I think Joe Levert. I don't know how old he was. He was pretty young. Yeah.
Yeah, he was born in 1966, so he would have been. Um, he would have been here. Hey, what's going on, Clue?
Hey, Clue.
But yeah, so I don't want to be like that, and we do have to do a little bit more with our health out here. And
Yes.
well, earlier that a lot of people missed it. I talked about the poop colors,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and it might be boring to some, but that starts to you start to look at the color, and it can have some disastrous results if it's real tarred or red. And nobody thinks about those little things. So Tommy Jean came up with the topic. I was supposed to do it 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, well, let me go ahead and do this because it does make a lot of sense.
And it's true. And um oh, please. It's so funny what you said. These people, I don't care what anybody thinks. I feel like some people will find anything boring if it's not full of drama. Personally, I like information and I like learning new things. And I think we should all have an interest in our health. But, it's funny that you brought up poop because I actually was looking up information on poop because, God, it's so funny. But, me me and you have talked before, and I don't
Yes.
know, I don't remember everything we talked about, but I do know I'm quite can't like open about my health and stuff. I've always been that way because I like to put out information that I think is going to be helpful to other people. But I've always struggled with my health, which is one reason I kind of work out as much as I do and eat the way I do because of the fact that um, I'm trying to stop myself from getting sick. I've been sick before.
Right.
I've had all kinds of issues, so I try to do that to avoid it. But I had a scare because I couldn't figure out. Like what you said is golden because people don't like to look at their poop, but it's really something that you really should do every once in a while. And I just noticed a change. I was like, okay, this is not normal. But it's definitely a good indicator of the type of health you're in. Your poop, your urine. If it's too hard, maybe you're not getting enough water. It could be other things. You could have. I don't want to get into all the list of things you could have going on, but you could have a lot of things going on, and God forbid you have blood down there. Then you can
That
have, yeah, that's definitely dangerous because that means you got bleeding inside. So
and
yeah,
yeah,
those things are important.
and that's why I decided to do it now. I don't. You haven't been on my channel. I don't do all that crazy drama. This is grown man stuff that I have here. Yeah, we talk about some red pill stuff here, but for the most part, I keep everything. And I realized tonight I wasn't going to get a lot of a whole big turnout, and I'm okay with that because
Mhm.
uh, health. And the other guy, Teapot, he'll be up. Health is important, and I'm going to continue to do videos on that because uh, when I watch certain things on television, I plug them into the real world. And me and brother Matt, we were talking about eating beef. I cut back on beef.
Right. It's hard to digest. It
Very
stays
hard.
very hard. It stays in your system for a very long time.
Well, something else, and brother Abdul put it up. Let's not forget the hygiene of the people cooking your food.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, one of the things too, I don't go out to eat that much. That's why I like cooking my own food.
Okay. Good idea. It's probably smart. You can control the salt. I don't now listen, I am enjoying this conversation, but I don't want to overtake Big Body.
That's
He
okay.
can jump in if he
Hey
wants to
Matt, you
jump.
still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. I just play the backfield. I stay in my lane.
No, go ahead.
I'm
Go
here
ahead,
though.
bro. Go ahead. Go ahead, bro.
No, 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 look, I'm always open here to listen. I'll go right ahead. You got it.
Me
I'm
and
into.
Leon we're like old friends. We could talk for a long time. So you
Yeah,
should jump, yeah,
well,
jump in.
she's known you. Matt's an old YouTuber too, and you probably known him too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We were all with the League of Dads together, so that's where I met Will.
Oh. I
Yeah,
think
so,
okay.
yeah. So we me and Matt chop it up too. We've even talked off. We talked behind the scenes too. So and he's in his health kicking. Uh, we're just trying to work on ourselves to be a lot better because I can't stand having low testosterone.
Right. And women, oh, Leon, let me tell you, I'm going to talk more about it on my channel, but I definitely the whole hormonal change thing, women go through it too. Definitely when we start approaching ages where we're approaching menopausal age. I'm not menopausal yet. I'm a little, I don't think so. I've been tested. I don't believe I am, but I am getting closer. I'm 43 now, and I'm getting closer every year, and I'm noticing changes. And oh, I could go on and on about that. But a lot of men don't consider the changes women go through, far as the hormones. But it can change everything, including your sex life for women too. That's why it's so funny when sometimes when I hear these conversations and the men will complain, well, the women aren't doing this and the women aren't doing that. When unless you've kind of walked in like 2 seconds in her hot flash shoes, you'll never understand what it feels like. There's a reason. What I'm saying is there's a reason sometimes that especially older women go through things, and I just think a lot of men just don't know. They just don't understand it. But as I'm getting older, I'm starting to learn. I'm starting to understand it. I've been having hot flashes now because I started being I feel like I'm perimenopausal. But I started having hot flashes probably in my late 30s. I didn't even know what it was until one day I woke up in a pool of sweat.
Wow.
Yeah. So the hormone things is important to try and keep those balanced. And you're right, things like soy, I found that out. Things like soy milk have a lot of estrogen in them, which is why, because I used to buy a lot of soy milk for me and my son, and I had to switch over to oat milk. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, it's just it takes
Man.
research and yeah.
Well, it's good. Now, I got this guy, and me and Big Body Matt were talking about this. Brother Cole, I used to drink 3 to 4 Cokes a day. Good God. But I'm
Damn.
down to maybe 1 or 2. Yeah, that's a lot. You're talking about how much sugar does a Coke have? About 50 grams of sugar in it,
A lot.
and
Hmm.
it's got a lot of caffeine in it too. Yeah, that's a see. I can't drink that stuff.
I used to be like Cedric. Cedric, you can do it. And because I was addicted to it too. And I used to have headaches when I would not have it. So I used to fiend for it, almost like alcohol, but you can do it. One day I just decided, I said, I'm tired of being sick. I'm tired of getting headaches and stuff when I don't have this stuff. So what I just did cold turkey. And it's hard the first few days, but you can do it. Every time you think you want to grab a soda, just have something else there instead. Maybe start with something simple like
Ice water. Ice water. Cold ice
yeah,
water.
water is the best thing. Even flavored water, like start putting lemon or something in your water. It curbs your appetite. Yeah.
Well, Brother Abdul, he says, now, Brother Abdul, I don't have any well water, but I know well water is a lot better than water in plastic bottles. Yeah, even plastic bottles, you got to be careful because of the material these bottles are made out of as well.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
don't
Yeah.
you don't know what you're getting. Yeah. So now, have I had bottled water like Ice Mountain bottled water? Yeah. And you got to read some of the labels too. When you go into these gas stations, some of them will say no fructose syrup in there because I went in the Speedway and I was buying this drink called Replenish because after I jog, I got to replenish with something. It said no fructose syrup, which is sugar. But then I
Mm-hmm.
looked on the back of it, it's got sugar in it. So they
Hmm.
tell you it's sugar. Yeah, fructose is sugar too,
It's worse. Yeah.
and
Water.
I mean,
Sugar.
sugar. Yeah, go ahead, Matt.
Water.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying water with sugar. Straight water with
Well,
sugar.
it's like the Gatorade stuff. You know
Oh,
the
yeah,
big
that's bullshit. Okay, a
Oh
Powerade
yeah.
game.
They have
Yeah,
sugar.
yeah.
yeah.
I'll be careful with Gatorade. I did a little research on it. I heard they have some of the stuff that what was it called? Antifreeze consists of.
Antifreeze.
Yeah. Some of the stuff that's used in antifreeze, the shit you use for
What you
your
put in your
car.
car?
Some of those ingredients that are used in antifreeze are actually in Gatorade as well. Some, not all, some.
I could believe it. It's
Now,
hard.
brother. Now, brother Cole says I'm switching up to ginger slices, lemon plus water, and
Kombucha. Oh
kombucha.
yeah. Hmm.
Okay. Okay. Wow.
You
And
know who's really good, Leon? Um, like I said, I know a few people. I don't. There's another YouTuber, Rashida. She's actually a vegan, but she's really really into vegan drinks and stuff, and smoothies and all that.
wow. Yeah. I actually, when it comes to smoothies, I've had those before too,
Mhm.
and they're pretty good. Brother Cortez says Gatorade and Powerade actually smell like antifreeze after a few days being open. Wow.
Wow.
I knew it was something bad about Gatorade. Matt, they're hearing him, and you. Uh, shout out to Clue. Oh, Clue.
I'm not paying him no attention. I'm not paying him no attention.
But yeah, we have to. I mean, I just look down the line, especially black men and energy drinks. I I um I I actually tried something, and I put what was it? I gave it to Tommy Jean. What I had bought them, it's called Celsius. I bought the packs from CVS. It's just like the Celsius energy drink.
Uh huh.
So I put two of those in a 20-ounce bottle. And let me tell you something. I don't know, I was in a different world and I had a headache. Found out that one packet has 200 milligrams of caffeine in it.
Mm-hmm.
And not only does it have caffeine, it has that Toronto in it, and then what? And I said, man, this is different. And I don't drink a lot of coffee or anything like that.
Mm-hmm. And stuff is addictive. It really is.
Now, Cedric said, I've been following Dr. Rachel Ross lately about men's health on YouTube. Uh,
Oh,
how do you all feel about Smoothie King? Is Smoothie King what is that? Is that in the mall or something?
It's
it's like a. Go ahead, sweetie.
Wait, Matt.
uh, uh, it's like Shake Shack, but
It's like
smoothies.
Shake Shack.
We have a place called Tropical Smoothie. It's exactly the same as Tropical Smoothie, and they sell all kinds of. They sell smoothies that you can make pretty much. You can put. They have signature smoothies, right? And then they have like a signature smoothie might be a mango Tropicana, and it comes with all the stuff in it. But you can also add shots. Like you can add shots of all these different like matcha and spirella and all these little different things to give you energy and just whatever. A lot of, I go there personally for like the wraps because I just like wraps and salads, and I go there for little things like that.
Wow. Yeah, now let me take a look at who else is out here talking about Dr. Rachel Ross. She's all about men's prostate and, of course, erection. Well, you lose your erection, you got low T. Brother Clue,
There's a way to get it back, though. Trust me. I'm prime example.
squats, brother Matt.
I was losing it, man, but I'm back.
I do squats.
Yeah,
Like,
hydrate.
yeah.
You stay hydrated. Watch what you put in your body. Stay low on them sugars, and take a lot of herbal supplements, man.
Wow. Yeah.
At least a gallon of water a day with your herbal supplements, man. I prefer alkaline water though, but a nice good gallon of spring water or alkaline water, and just flush your body, man, and keep your your blood flowing, man. Stay active as well, because erection ain't nothing but fucking blood flow to the
Yeah,
penis.
that's true.
Get some
Yeah.
Bragg's apple cider vinegar too. I like that. I drink it 2 times a day.
Yeah, I have some apple cider vinegar too with mother.
That's what the Bragg's has got in it. The mother.
Uh-huh.
Now Isaiah says, "Now I didn't know this. Mountain Dew has vegetable oil in it. Calypso juices have canola oil in it. Oil that you fry chicken with. Can't trust these companies. They will sell anything for $1. So Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew.
I heard Mountain Dew is a sterilizer, man. For if you don't want no kids, drink Mountain Dew. I was always told that growing up.
That's got a lot of caffeine in it, I heard too. Mountain Dew.
And sugar. It's one of the worst for your teeth. I know that.
Right. Yeah. It'll mess you. Yeah. I haven't had Mountain Dew. I stay away from that, but they still sell. When I'm here in the Midwest, everybody, and it's probably there on the East Coast too. But I know when I go out, I see a bunch of your like poor people, and I live around a
Mhm.
lot of white folks, and some of them, they're going in there buying not just beer but soda. They call it pop out here. They're
Mhm.
buying it by the cases. I'm like, are you drinking all that stuff? And I saw somebody not too long ago buy a case of Mountain Dew. I leave that alone. And Isaiah says Pepsi and Coca Cola have coal in it. Wow. And that's true, Clue. Pepsi owns Mountain Dew.
Well, y'all know the original Pepsi had cocaine in it back in the day. Like it was crazy. It had
Coca-Cola.
cocaine in it.
Coca-Cola.
I'm serious. Coca Cola. Yeah. Wow.
Right.
That was
And
Coca-Cola then. Coca-Cola had cocaine in it.
Yes, Coca Cola.
yeah, they tried to go to that new Coke, whatever it was back in '85. I remember that. And then they brought the old Coke back,
Uh huh.
and some of that diet, believe it or not, some of that diet soda's got a lot of salt in it too.
And I've been researching it. I do just my own little stuff, but I've been researching it because I've been trying to like get my health under control. But sometimes the fake sugar, like Splenda and stuff, they have chemicals, man-made chemicals that are worse than regular cane sugar. So you just got to be careful. And like the brother up there said, you might be better off just drinking plain old water, just flavor in the water, than some of this stuff.
Yeah. Don't drink anything like Clue. Shout out to you, Clue. Advertised on television. Thank goodness I haven't, besides a little football, I don't watch television that much because I don't trust anything that they put out. I really don't.
I
And
want to. Oh, sorry, Leon.
go ahead.
I wanted. Before I leave, I wanted to just kind of give a explanation or confession to you. I've been wanting to do it to either you or the brother Nate, so I figured I'd tell you. But a big part of my channel is sharing other channels, and I actually really enjoy being over here in y'all spaces. You know, I consider you a friend, and Nate has been very nice and welcoming to me, all you brothers over here. And I tried to merge. I was trying to kind of share the videos and merge some of the other spaces that I go to, but I I think the thing is just because we might like I just think it might be better, like basically, like people like you, I would love to share your content, but I don't want to bring people over here that don't appreciate your content, that's not going to appreciate what you're trying to say because they just have a difference in ideology. The thing about me is I listen to everybody. I listen to people who are conservative and I listen to people who are liberal. I'm kind of in the middle, and but everybody doesn't get along. So I just kind of come over here on my own. You know what I mean? And when I visit Nate, I visit kind of on my own. But I want you to know I support you. And I do, I want to figure out how to bring people over. But at the same time, I realize that everybody isn't like minded. Like, you know what
Well,
I'm saying? I can't bring everybody over to you.
I'm going to be honest. On my channel, I don't want any knuckleheads over here. I really, I,
What?
really, I really don't. And I've seen some knuckleheads out there, and I try to bring. Yeah, we have our fun over here. We have our little pushbacks and everything, but I try to do it the mature way over here.
Right.
I'm too old for any of that. You talking about stress? I'm not even monetized, and thank goodness I'm not monetized. I like to keep everything the way if somebody has a topic like big body. I mean, I'm doing this because Tommy Jean gave me the topic. I'm doing
Mhm.
good topics here, and my channel is different from everybody else's, including Nate's. And shout out to brother Nate. Uh, and Teapot, he's the only one that has a channel like mine, and I like to keep it the way it is. Uh, People come over because if individuals don't research, they're going to bring their their drama over here, and no, I don't want that. I mean, I really don't.
Well, good. Well, I just want you to know because I like to share people's videos, but I
Well,
just want you to know why I kind of come over here on my own, on my lonesome. But you see, what Clue doesn't realize is me and you've been friends for quite a while, but they don't even realize that,
yeah,
Nate.
yeah, we go back. We go
They
back.
don't even realize that.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
yeah, because we were making videos before.
way back. Yeah, they don't, but they didn't know about me back then. So,
No,
yeah. Mhm.
brother Cedric says, don't forget Tab Soda. Back in the day, they had to consider. Yeah, they don't have that out. Clue is here. We go. Shout out to brother.
I know, Celine. I know, sweetie pie.
Clue is just joking. He's just joking. I get into this, but like I said, the health, especially this time of year, and every time. Well, when you get into the colder months, people start wolfing down that turkey and that stuffing,
Mhm.
and I know what it is, and that's really when you have to keep it down. You don't want to overdo it. Uh, my best thing too would be to definitely get some fiber in your system, clean yourself out, water, water, and more water. And I work outside doing construction inspection, so I have to have water, water. I have to do a lot of walking, and in the end, I feel a lot positive too.
Good. Can I want to speak about stress too.
Okay.
One thing I started doing. So the years and years passed, and I never took a vacation, right? So now I'm obsessed with taking the vacation. But the years and years passed, I never did anything because I was so busy working, right? Trying to get a bag and pay for this, and I wanted this, I wanted that car. I was in school, I was just hustle, 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 and I had like 2 or 3 jobs at one time. I was a meal for me was a bag of Lay's chips and coffee. Like I was not taking care of myself, and yeah, I had a horrible scare.
So
Um,
something like this, little stacks.
yeah, exactly. But it's
Brother
horrible,
Mac.
and I went and let me tell you, I had a sugar attack. I just wasn't
Oh,
feeling good, and I was on my way to being diabetic from all that sugar and stuff that I was
yeah.
consuming. And I used to work at a gas station, and I would just stay up drinking sweet sodas and all this stuff. But the point is also that same year, I ended up losing my one of my closest cousins, a very, very, very young age, to colon cancer.
Oh,
And yeah, and it just really made me look at life because he was in his 40s. We were very actually he wasn't that much older than me. And anyway, it made me realize, listen, I am still really young and I there's so much I want to do. So the reason I'm taking you down all that memory lane is because that's when I realized that you know what, I want to enjoy my life while I still have it. Who knows how long I'm going to have it. And even now I actually have a very stressful job. I've always had stressful jobs. It's just it's the call of my duty, I guess. But when you work hard, you've got to play harder. And so I've just made it my business every year to make sure I take at least a week vacation. And I just recommend that everybody find some kind of way to de-stress. I don't care what it is that they do. Get a massage. Um, Exercise is a good de-stressor. But definitely spending time with your family and getting away from work for a little while is worth it.
yeah, and uh, like I said too. Clue mentioned some diabetes. Something else to mention, and I know men don't do it, but I do it. And I always give a lot of shout out to Tommy Jean here because let me tell you, I wasn't going to the doctor as much. Oh, I go to the doctor. I go to the VA since I'm a veteran.
Mhm.
I run right there, and they did a stool sample for me, and I sent it back. No problems. Men got to get checked. Hey,
Yeah.
brother, big body. How often you go to the doctor?
Oh, I'm back. I'm sorry. What were you saying?
How often you go to the doctor, brother?
Man, look, I'm gonna be honest with you, man.
Uh oh.
If I don't know, no news is good news. But
No!
I ain't gonna.
Listen, bro. You got to listen. You got to go to the doctor, man.
Yeah. I know that now because I'm getting a little older, and like I said, I had some issues that I had to tackle down myself. But I can't be my own doctor as well. I mean, but luckily I was able to revive myself in some areas without going to the doctor. But still, I'm starting to. The shit's starting to hit me. Like the 40s is knocking at the door, man. I'll be 37 this year, and I'm starting to have a few issues. So it's like, okay, I
Brother,
got these shits out the way, but it's time to go to the professionals.
brother, you look at me now. When you saw me a long time ago, I wasn't even wearing any glasses. Now look at me now. I got glasses on because I have a hard time seeing close. I got reading glasses on. Okay.
37 is young, sweetheart. 37 is a young. Oh my God, I would switch with you. 37, I'm 6 years older than you. I would switch with you in a heartbeat.
It's young, but it ain't too young. I mean, it's young enough, but it ain't too young. I mean, I got some aches and pains in the morning because I'm a heavy set guy, but yeah, I gotta start dealing with the professionals because like I said, I'm transitioning, doing the herbal thing and sea moss and all that shit and alkaline water and all that shit now, but still, it's
Now,
it's
tell
best.
me more about this, if you don't mind. Tell me more about the sea moss, because I've tried. I can't take the taste of it. How do you cook it?
Oh no, I bought it already done up. I bought it. I don't. I can't. I can't take the taste or the smell of it, but I do it anyway. As far as the taste, but I get it already done up. I pay somebody to do it for me because
I never even had it. I mean,
They have shops down here, Leon. I might could get you some if you know.
I mean, they got natural shops up here too. I never had it. I take my vitamins every other day, and the best thing though, really cook at home. I worked in the restaurant business for years. A lot of the food that you get, even in restaurants, and I'll give you an example. The clam chowder. That stuff has a lot of salt in it. It comes from U.S. foods. It's processed. Make your own clam chowder. Let's see what chicken noodle soup. It's when you're getting stuff out of a plant. I mean, I live not too far. I mean, you saw me with the stacks. The reason why we have the Lay's the Lay's plant here, they make everything. All the stores here in Indiana. I mean, you got Doritos, you got everything. Lay's is right in Frankfort, Indiana, one of the biggest plants out here. The and a lot of people buy Lay's. Lay's chips from Frito Lay, and yeah, I like chips, but I try to work everything off. I go ahead, brother Matt.
Nah, I'm just thinking in back of my mind. I'm like, damn, they got the fucking the facility, the death facility, man. They're just shipping out death to the whole country.
It's only 14 miles away, and yeah. Well, when I lived in Pennsylvania, the Hershey plant was there, and I went through that and ate chocolate.
Oh man, out there in what's that? Harrisburg, Mechanicsburg, Carlisle, all that area.
Yeah,
they just got them factories and the freight industry area. They just shipping out all types of shit that's just killing us.
and that's why too we got to always beware what food we're about. And something else I learned: check the dates on your food. I mean, I had cans up there that were 2 years old. I had to throw out. Another thing about health is you have to hygiene. We go into restaurants, and how do you know that person washed their hands? It's cooking.
Right.
I mean, I really got something about that. And Matt, I remember that video you had up there in that grocery store with that mouse on that meat.
Oh, wasn't that crazy?
Yes.
Oh man.
Like, what is this?
I haven't bought meat from the store since, man. I got a butcher that I deal with personally.
What
I
was
get them
that
to chop
shop?
my shit up and deliver it to me, man.
And what was that shop right up there?
Ah,
Don't
that
tell me
was
I got a shop right card, bro.
I think it was. I
Oh,
think it actually was a Walmart, if I'm not mistaken.
oh no! Wow,
That little fucker was running around all through the meat, man.
Ew.
uh, oh yeah. Hey, thanks, Tommy. Watch anybody buying peanut butter lately? I haven't bought peanut butter in ages.
I like peanut butter.
I don't know. I heard something was going on with the peanut butter out here.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, and
I like me some peanut butter.
but something else that I didn't know either. uh, Bread, the fresh made bread and the regular bread that you get in the store made differently. The fresh made bread, it gets very hard if you leave it out. They're doing something to the bread to keep it lasting longer.
Oh yeah, I think they're doing it to all the food, Leon. I think so. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's not normal the way food. It's just not normal. It's supposed to decompose.
Well, this is probably why people's attitudes are changing too, because of what they're putting, the chemicals they're putting in food. Like me and Matt were talking about watermelon, and we know that. I mean, you go to the store. We used to go see the oblong watermelons. And, you
Hmm.
cut them open. They got the brown seeds in them. They got the little spherical watermelons. They got the little seeds in them. And I'm like,
Yeah, those are genetically modified to not have seeds. You're right. They've been messed with. I like like you said, the traditional watermelon. They're sweeter a lot of times anyway.
yeah, but they're actually better for you. But
Hmm.
this, yeah. Matter of fact, we should have bought one. They still do, but when we look at those spherical ones, now how many people eat watermelon in the wintertime? They sell those spherical watermelons all year round.
That's true. It's funny because
Well,
that's
wait a minute
true. I've
now.
never thought about that.
And I go shopping. I go shopping for all this stuff here. And let me go see if I can share something up here. I think I still have something about it's my Chrome tab up. Let me see if I had something up about some poop. I did it earlier, and I have to find that again. But there was some wild stuff that, like I said, Tommy Jean she got me the information, and I swear it was crazy. It was crazy about how this stuff was looking. I can't find it, but I'll have to find that. And I actually put the link about in the article. I put it in my chat. The link is in the
Okay.
chat because I wanted everybody to really look at that chat. It's there a long time ago, but it's up there.
Okay.
I I, I kind of can't find it. I'm still pretty new to this. Here it is, right here. Let me see if I can put it back out. I'm still pretty new to the stream yards here, so I always tell people, well, uh, just let me see if I can. Let's see if I can bring it up. Um, do you have? How do you know your poop is healthy? I gotta find it. Okay. Let me see if I can bring it right back up. Oh, here's the one I did. Yep. This is the letter I did. Let me share it. This is what I had up earlier. If, Let me go ahead and share it. Get the Chrome tab up. There we go. This is what I had up. Let me bring it out. Open up. This is what I had right here. This is what we did. And what I did, I showed a chart of it. Here's what normal poop is supposed to look like. This is what it is. Now, let me scroll down and actually get the actual chart that I saw. Uh, well, something to put up too. Here are all the colors, and
Hmm.
those are very significant. This is from Medical News Today. that I got this from. And I said, well, okay, this is the information Tommy Jean sent me. And the biggest thing I found was this chart. And the chart was very informative. Where is that chart? There was a chart up here that I'd actually seen. Oh, here it is right here. Here it is right here. The chart will tell the
So
chart will tell you everything.
number 4, right, is normal, right?
Right. Number 4 is normal. Number 3 is also normal, but when you get down to number 7, you got a problem, Houston.
Oh yeah.
Number 1 and 2, you really got a problem too, because I've
Constipation.
right. And then when you the lower you get, the more liquidy it gets. That's what people don't know. And that's what you need to care about right there. That's what it's, if it looks like 5, 6, 1, 1, 2, 5, 6, or 7, you got some problems. You got some problems. And then I looked at it, and let me share. I'm going to use one monitor here, so bear with me. Here is here's what it is when it's abnormal. As this is a review, that's abnormal. This is what you get when it's abnormal. Because it really deals with your digestive system. And I didn't even know that. And reading that, I said, wow, okay. Am I going enough? Am I not going enough? And that's what people don't know. People take this information for granted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But that's what I had up. But the information out here, there's a lot of information out here, and I think we all ought to start looking at it. And that's why, I like my channel, and I do what I do. Shout out to Brother Cole again. Glad I received this information. Even he's researching it on.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm just flabbergasted that you talked about this today, and I was just looking this up last night because I'd be looking up some. I guess I've been told it's a little strange, but I don't think it's strange at all. It's important information to have, and I like your channel. I've always told you I like the fact that you give information. You talk about things that nobody else is talking about.
Yeah, and I continue doing that. That's why I did. All that, I want people to have a second channel out too. It's sort of like it's called the QCIS channel, where I'm actually out in the field performing some construction duties. I have a GoPro camera out there. That channel's up to put that channel in there too, the QCIS channel. It was doing what Matt had something interesting on one of his videos. He was showing people how to jump a truck, and did nobody come look at it but me and a couple of other guys. He was showing people how to back up a truck. And, one of the issues here is, this is why I don't talk about the so-called community, because there is no community in my humble opinion. The bottom line is you have to do what's in your best interest.
Mm-hmm.
And if other people check it out, they check it out. If they don't, they don't. I'm not for a bunch of yelling and screaming and debating. I just want to get the information out. And I'm like this, just, you enjoy it, you enjoy it. But let me tell you something. What I'm putting out there, and I'm going to get some stuff up on some other news articles about the violence going on out here. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to get some of those news clips up there. And I had one I was talking about the mama's boys. Unfortunately, I can't put that up because I tried running it last week, and YouTube clipped my stream.
Oh yeah, YouTube is. My stuff is always getting messed with because I play music and yeah.
Well, I was talking about some of these mama's boys out here. Mm-hmm.
Oh man. Wait a minute.
Hey,
Wait a minute. They took your shit down?
Oh yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. You want to hear
Give
that?
me a challenge.
Well, I did appeal it because I said my channel's not monetized, so they said, well, they gave me a copyright strike, but it didn't do anything.
We're talking about Mama's boys.
Yeah, yeah. Matter of
You know
fact,
what? I'm gonna take a stab at it tonight. Then I'm gonna
matter of fact, let me see if I can get it. And shout out to you, Clue.
Well,
I'm having my own video. Let's see if I put my own video up there.
I'm gonna put up a video about Mama's boy. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be a little bit more X-rated with my language though.
Brother, there's a show that comes on called I Love a Mama's Boy. It's just like Smothered. I did Smothered. I didn't put that one up there. And I'm like, wow. I mean, I was in the middle of a stream about an hour and a half in, and we're deleting your stream because you used some copyrighted material, and I called fair use on it. Fair use.
Mm-hmm. And it's crazy. Some people, that's all they do is use other people's stuff, and it seems like they're allowed to do it. I don't understand it. I haven't figured it out yet, Leon. But I'm going to go because my family just literally just walked in the door. I could hear them. But I have really enjoyed the live stream. I'm definitely going to stop by more. It was nice to meet you, Big Body.
Oh,
And
likewise.
yeah, I'll definitely subscribe to you later. But I'm gonna hop off of here, and I'll come back through, Leon, for sure.
Hey, thanks for coming up, Mahogany.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me. Thank
Oh,
you.
not a problem. You're welcome.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Shout out to Clue. Thank you, Leon, for not. Clue is absolutely sick. 45,214 channel about hoes. No, I'm talking about hoes here. I'm talking about hoes here. Not talking about women here. We're talking about health. But yeah, Matt.
So you said they they pulled it down because you were talking about Mama's boys.
Yeah. You know what? I don't know if I can bring it back up, but if I can go on my own channel, let me see.
What was your angle on it, though? Like, what were you getting to about it? Because I'm curious now. I want to know.
My angle, brother, was why do these individuals love mama's boys? And these mama boys, in fact, matter of fact, I don't know if I could pull it up. Let me see if I could share it. I mean, this is what I was saying. Share screen. Let me go ahead my Chrome tab. This is what I had up. The husbands are very weak. Now you look at this first couple. Fair use. You're gonna find out this is me right here. I did this on Mama's Boys.
Mom, there are no boundaries. We don't have that intimacy anymore.
That's certainly spicy.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a therapist or psychologist, but what is that?
In life, there's a hierarchy, and I'm right up top.
She is going to make the final call. And that's a horrible feeling to have. This is your life.
Right.
Again, you're already seeing how much. Can you hear it, Brother Matt? Mothers are making.
Yeah.
That mother that was in the store with her son buying lingerie. Now, how many mothers and sons go in the store and buy lingerie, and the mother says,
"That's gay,
spicy"? You don't see that too often. But these are guys who are trying to have relationships, but the mothers keep on interfering with their relationships. Fair use. Let's continue.
You really need to take my son from me. It's always just been me and Michael. You know, I'm his mom. Like, I'm supposed to protect him. But it's just so hard, honey. Mom. You're my only one.
She does a job. I don't know who she is.
What is your mom doing? Setting you up on a date?
I don't know. I don't know how to respond.
Are you serious?
Fair use. Now, you see in here, these moms are acting like children. They have husbands. Again, their husbands just want to stay out of everything. This is what I had to do some regular content on this one.
Now, in this series, which comes on TLC, the mothers are doing everything for these boys. So these boys never grow up. Now, I'm not even going to give the women a pass either, because they never grow up either. They live in fantasy land. They want the careers, the education. And a lot of these individuals come from yuppie areas. And when I mean yuppie areas, they live in areas that the property value is very high. And some of the states that I can tell you, there's Connecticut, there's California, Florida, I believe Illinois, and Maryland, to name a few of those states. But this is a series where if you have sons and you're trying to pursue a relationship, you need to keep your mother out of your business. I know mothers are very protective of their sons, and dads can be very protective of their daughters. Now, a number of these women are also Generation X women. So in the end, a number of these mothers are living through their children. Fair use. Let me continue.
This is not the type of girl that I want for my son. You're pig. Just go away.
I don't have any more patience to fix the relationship with his mother.
Emily, says break up.
I would never tell my mom, you need to butt out.
I begin to question where I stand in his life. If he's not going to put me first, then I'm not really sure where we're going to go from here.
No.
Well, you know what's funny?
There you go, brother Matt.
When I talked about
your version, I like to hear it.
Where they rank with some of these women. Well, on this show, these women are put at the bottom of the pyramid. Now, even during some of the other trailers that I'm going to present to you, you're going to see how the mothers are always trying to control what's going on in the household that they don't live in. This mother right here.
Mm-hmm. This is what you get out here.
Afraid that her son is going to leave her. She never let her son grow up. This is what happens when women are allowed to run the household. Let's continue.
Oh, Shikib, you're not gonna leave me. Mama gonna die.
That is not true.
You are the one who make my life miserable. I'm sick of you.
Or again.
Yeah, I got some more I'll be getting into.
You see how
go ahead, brother Matt.
Had to revolve his whole life.
All right. Well, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it nicely.
And the mother had a husband.
Go ahead, brother.
Fair use. Let's get to the next one.
So, wait, is that playing or?
Grammarly makes communication at work one click simple.
Sorry for the commercial, brother.
Whether you're looking for a new job or you.
All right, number 2.
I love Matt so much, but Matt's always struggled with setting boundaries with his mom.
I love everything about Steph, but there's nobody that I'm closer to in the world than my mom.
Shopping we go.
You're the best.
After 10 years together, we're finally getting married, but Brian's a bit of a package deal.
Well, in this clip right here where you have Brian, his mother, and Tracy. Now, Tracy, this is one that was very hard to figure out for me. And I'm going to tell you why it's hard. The lady sitting on the right named Tracy. And of course, these 3 individuals, they're from Miami, Florida. But Tracy already came to the relationship with kids already. Talk about being put first. But if you really think about it, Brian, who's the gentleman in the middle, and of course, this is Brian's mom. Tracy is complaining about Brian's mom being put first, but in actuality, Tracy is not going to put Brian first because the children Tracy has are very small. Now, again, this series with the Mama's Boys shows you how men go into the real world when they're raised by their mothers. They can't relate to real masculinity. They can't relate to masculinity because they've been brought up.
They're not around it, man. They've been robbed of it.
The mothers are always running the show. Fair use. Fair use.
Here you go. My relationship with my son Brian is very close and normal.
I wouldn't say normal. He's 29 and she still makes him breakfast every day.
Yeah, she does make some fire eggs. Good job, Mom.
My mom does give the best massages. She knows exactly what I need.
I know I do.
My son, she gives my friend.
Now, you see why these boys have a hard time making the real world? Because the mothers are always catering to them. You just saw in one clip, the mother is feeding her son. These boys don't cook. These boys don't even clean up themselves. Now, this mother right here, she basically...
Oh, I got some more, Matt. It's not over. I got quite a bit coming. Stay tuned.
And fingernails. She's gone to the gym with him. She is a flat-out hypochondriac when she doesn't get her way. When he went out with Emily the first time, because Emily and her son, Shaquille, broke up for 6 months, well, the mother, I believe her name was Lana or Lana, she didn't like Emily. Now, don't get me wrong. After watching a couple of clips of Emily, I'm not sure if I care too much about Emily either. Because Emily, she's a young girl. She wants to have a family. But when you go in there looking for a $40,000 3-carat ring or an engagement ring, something tells me that you're not going to be in that relationship long. You're going to end up palming that ring because you're going to get tired of it. And Emily is looking at having a family through the eyes of fantasy. Fair use. Let's continue.
It's a beautiful relationship. I don't know why people even find it so taboo.
Skip.
Yes.
Do you like to drink some
you
water?
go, Matt, in the
Don't
gym,
get in
like
that.
I said.
He's very independent.
But he still lives with you.
Yes.
And he's 31.
Yes, I know.
Now, this goes back to the old scenario that I talked about, grown kids living at home. Shakib is 31 years old, living at home. Do you see how the mother caters to him? Now, of course, he's not going to find a woman of today that's going to do that. Now, he's always going to put his mother first. There's nothing wrong with loving your mom, but this is a grown child, and the mother says he's independent. No, he's not independent. He depends on his mother. Although he has a father who lives in the house, the father didn't teach him anything because everything was basically taught to him by his mother. And the mother, when she doesn't get her way, she acts like a hypochondriac. She says she's going to die. She says she's sick. She does not want to give up her son. Now, there's nothing wrong with protecting your son when it comes to these wicked women out there. But he is 31 years old, still living at home. And I do believe he's going to continue to live at home. The failure launch syndrome is in this clip. Again, 31 years old, failure to launch. In the end, this boy is going to suffer. Certainly, he's buffed, he goes to the gym, but he's weak. He doesn't stand up for himself. You believe a woman is going to respect him? Absolutely not. There you go. Let's continue.
Maybe that's an issue.
You dropping juice all on your mouth?
Oh, he spends a lot of time with his mom.
We gamble together.
Party. I got a baby boy at home too, but it is not like your relationship at all.
I stayed here for our relationship. Mike and I did not move to LA.
Hey.
And we are actually now closer to his mom.
Mom knows best.
Okay.
That's what it comes down to.
You know, next month we're gonna do the honeymoon. Down to come?
I'm up for it.
Now, in this clip, now you see Brian and you see his mother. Now, I actually did see the whole episode. This is an episode 2.
Shout out to you, Celine. Yes, it does happen with all types of peoples.
With her son and his wife, and he also brought the kids along. Now, Tracy is the single mother. Well, she was a single mother until she got married to Brian. Now, in every marriage or in every relationship,
fair use,
you should put your spouse or your partner first. Now, I'm doing this because I'm showing women how we feel when we run into a lot of your baggage. You call us insecure. You call us not understanding. But now the roles are on, or the shoe is on the other foot. And in the end, it's not going to be as easy dealing with a mama's boy. You're not going to respect this mama's boy. And this mama's boy is never going to have any type of girlfriends. And let me put the shoe on the other foot as well. Switch it to the mama. The mama's not going to have any man in her life. Because what is happening with I Love a Mama's Boy, you're basically seeing a son-husband relationship. Fair use. Let's continue.
What brings their mother-in-law on their honeymoon?
Yeah.
This is not how a marriage is supposed to work.
I just need to know who comes first, me or your mom?
Is that a real question?
Yeah, it is.
I think you can grow with Steph. And so I think your mom could be motivating you to be more selfish than you should be.
I think he's still trying to figure out if Stephanie is the right person.
Liz is telling my family our relationship is never going to go anywhere.
I don't want to.
Well, Liz was that white woman, the skinny white woman, who's selfish. Now, with Liz and her son, the son's father died when Liz's son was 8 years old. So, of course, Liz had to do all the work. Now, guess what generation a number of these women are from? Most of them are from Gen X. Now, I say that because when it comes to parenting in my generation, Gen X, a number of the women became friends to their children. And in the end, when you become friends to your children are going to do what they want to do. There's no discipline or order in the house. And eventually your children are going to turn to disrespect you. And this is what's going on in the house. You're allowing your son to be the man of the house, but he doesn't even know what a man is because he wasn't taught to be a man. The only thing he was taught to do was revolve his whole life around you. And when that has happened, these mothers have shadowed or sheltered their boys so much, these boys don't even know how to relate to other men. Now, you see other people are talking about these son-husband relationships. Correction, these mother or son-husband relationships, where the mama's boy is basically the husband. The mother cannot do without the son. And if you really grasp everything that's going on, the mother makes all the decisions. Let's continue fair use. Fair use. This video is not being used for any monetization. My channel is not monetized, nor will it ever be monetized, because I want to continue to do videos like this, because you need to know what's going on with the mama's boy. Fair use.
I apologize to you.
I'm leaving the one crying. Stay here. I don't need you.
You don't deserve my son.
I don't need your son.
If I accept this job opportunity, everything will change.
Do you think you'll be able to sustain your relationship?
I have no idea.
Kim, would you mind that I have a private moment with Matt?
Right now?
Yes. Could we have the room, please?
Now again, a number of these women who want to get with these mama's boys are in their 20s. Now here's the problem. From my humble opinion, they're not made to be wives. They want it all. They want the career. They want the family. They want the marriage. But they haven't prioritized anything about their lives yet either. And of course, all these mothers, these young girls have learned everything from these mothers who are my age. Fair use. Fair use. Let's continue.
That's not devious, is it?
There you go, brother Matt. You got the cash in on this. Fair use. Excuse me for the commercial.
My name's Jen Hiddle. I live in West Lafayette. And
So Matt and I currently live in Matt's old bedroom.
love you.
It's not an ideal living situation because Matt is a total mama's boy.
Good morning.
Morning.
Time to get up. Here you go.
Kelly.
Here you go.
Now you see what's happening here. Kelly is the mom's name. And what Kelly is actually doing, she's getting mad up. Now here's what you need to know about Matt and his girlfriend Kim. They're actually living in the same house that their parents live in. In other words, this is a grown man. He's right around 27, still living with his mom. And his girlfriend is the same age. Now, the girlfriend, when you see her, the blonde, Kim, yes, she talks like she has some sense. But again, she's on that nonsense as well because she wants to be married again. She wants to have her own place. There's nothing wrong with that. But in the end,
fair use.
You have to be able to read through all the smoke. She's also selfish. And a number of these individuals are, I call them yuppies. They're suburbanites. They're not people like myself who are accustomed to getting their hands dirty. They're not doing construction. I mean, you look at the way these boys look. There's nothing in them that's very masculine. And the females, they're young, And these females also live in their parents' house as well. There's one named Stephanie who lives in her parents' house. Now, when it comes to a man, when you're 27 years old, 31 years old, you should be ready to leave the house. But when mom's doing everything for you, your laundry, your cooking, you're not going to want to leave the house. You're getting everything for free. And these boys don't even have to work because mommy will give it to them. Let's continue. Fair use.
You're welcome. How are you?
Good.
Yeah. Still warming up to the idea of living with Matt's mother.
Look at this
And
dude.
it's just a lot more
That looks
challenging
so
than
sweet.
I initially thought it would be. Because Matt and her are so close. They work together, so they carpool in the morning. Kelly and Matt are always planning something, whether it's pedicures or our next vacation. I'm totally the third wheel with them. And instead of us...
I mean, there's one thing you all have to look at too. As a man, look at the types of dogs they have.
Yes.
Now,
Look at the types
are
of
you going to
dogs.
see a man with one of these little, I don't even know what kinds of dogs they are. I don't know if they're Yorkies, but I wouldn't be caught with a dog like that.
What about you,
And
brother
look
Matt?
at him sitting there with his mama, yucking it up. Now, this is a boy who will never grow up. And his girlfriend thought she was the third wheel. Well, she is the third wheel. But to some of you ladies, when we have to deal with your grown kids living at home, when we have to deal with your pets, your girlfriends, your parents, and when we talk to you about it, we're told we don't understand or we're insecure. Now the shoe is on the other foot. And when we speak up, you basically deny everything. You think it's great because a number of you ladies are used to that chaos. Well, this young girl named Kim, she just walked into some chaos. Fair use. Let's continue.
Going out for a date night. He'd rather hang out on the couch drinking his sleepy time tea with his mom.
It's a great system.
Yeah.
Right, Kim? Kelly. Oh, Kelly.
Again, folks, this is what's happening. This is what's wrong with a lot of these boys. Now, here's the last one. Fair use. Fair use.
Keep cool and comfortable in foamies by Skechers. They're colorful, lightweight footwear that are stylish, comfortable, and 100% waterproof. Plus, they're washable and come in fashionable styles for the whole family. Make a splash in colorful comfort with foamies by Skechers.
For Valentine's Day this year, Mom said she would go and help me get Kim a gift.
This looks beautiful.
I want to put a little more spark back into mine and Kim's relationship. What are your thoughts?
Now, here's the one I told you about. How many sons have gone into a lingerie shop with their mothers? That's crazy. Now, you're not going to hear it from me, but you're going to hear it from these salespeople. Tell you how crazy the mom is. And if you don't believe me, I'm going to show you. Fair use. Fair use.
Yeah, that's certainly spicy.
Yeah. There is some intimacy that has fallen short because, we do live with my mom. And she thinks that my mom sometimes is around a little bit too much.
I'm Eve. What's your name?
Oh, hi. I'm Kelly.
Hi, Kelly.
It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, too.
This is my son, Matthew.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
So what brings you in?
Well, my son wants to get something beautiful for his girlfriend with a little bit of razzle-dazzle for Valentine's Day. I was hoping that you could help us.
I've been in business for 13 years. I do not have a lot of mothers and sons shopping for lingerie at my store. Come on in. Let's
Okay,
talk.
great.
Yeah,
Thank you
let's
so
talk.
much.
You see where it's getting to? The mother and the son have walked into a lingerie store. The mother, she's calling all the shots. And you look at the son, the baby boy.
That's right,
He
the
has
baby
no
boy.
hair on his face. He's not even walking square. He's not saying anything. Mommy's doing all the talking. And see, this is why guys like this say their mothers are strong women. No, the mothers aren't strong women. It's just that the sons are afraid of their mothers. And this woman has a husband. You don't see the husband because the husband basically stays out of their affairs. The husband has let the mom run his son. And now you look at this boy right here. This boy is very feminine. His mom hasn't taught him anything about women because in retrospect, she wants to control his life. She doesn't want him to have anybody in his life. She wants him to be around her. And if you don't believe me, let's continue their use.
That's really weird to me. But hey, I don't know. This is stunning.
What do you think, Mom?
I like it. Wow.
Hold on, I got to show it to you.
Okay.
You want to hold it for me?
All right, let's go here.
You got it?
If I ask my mom her opinion, I'm gonna get a for sure guarantee of a.
You see the salespeople, they're laughing at these two because what you see is not normal. But you have a number of individuals who really think that this nonsense is something that most of us guys who are masculine do with our mothers. Now, don't get me wrong, my mother is still alive and well. She's 81 years old, but I would never hang out with my mother in a lingerie store. I would never have my mother kiss me on the lips. I do love you very much, Mom. You did your work to raise me to be the man I am. But Dad gave me the tools of masculinity. It's dads, when they know their role, create the example for their sons to follow. This guy, look at him. He didn't have that example. So the person he's always going to follow is his mom, and he will never move away from his mom. And I'm going to prove it to you. Fair use.
A good response. If you had to pick, which one would you go with?
I do like the cheetah.
Yeah.
I think it's beautiful.
What do you think? Which one do you like?
I think this one might be better. I think it's going to make him feel sexier.
Sexier?
And it's different.
That's true.
Which is good.
Okay.
So, and I think she'll like that more.
It's spicy, elegant.
Now you see how the boy, he couldn't even make a decision. He hesitated. He should already know what he likes for his girlfriend. But he was afraid to really speak his mind because he was going to offend his mother. Now, this mother, this is Kelly. During the show, she's very devious. You guys got to watch the series to know it's 3 seasons. But I'm just capping off at season 1. And this is what you ladies are getting. When these boys are living with their mothers. The same way you bring us chaos with your dogs and cats and your grown kids, and you're taking care of your elderly parents, your job, your education, everything that you put above a man, the favors being returned to some of you women And I love a mama's boy. You don't believe me? Watch this clip. And please, get the likes up in this video. Get me to 2,100 subs. Fair use.
So I don't think we'll have any problems.
Well, that's what happens when you have a mama's boy. Shout out to brother Isaiah.
My doctor told us about GoodRx to help us save money on our prescriptions.
That's what mom wanted me to be. I had to break away on my own. Again, brothers Isaiah, you're right. That's what my mom wanted me to be. Had to break away on my own. Shout out to brother Cedric Cole. Glad as a child with a single mother, I never adopted that mindset. I left my graduation night for the military the next day to San Diego. And I got some more clips coming from this show. I just skimmed it at the surface, but it gets deeper than this. There are other couples. And this is what happens when a lot of these boys are raised by their mothers. These boys will not have anybody in their lives. The mom is always going to be the third wheel. These boys are never going to leave home. I mean, they are getting royal treatment. And like I said, if you turn everything around, vice versa, the mom, because that one that you saw, the light skin or the mixed brother named Brian and Tracy, well, his mom goes out with somebody and the son didn't like it. But here the son is married to what was a single mom. The son wasn't putting his own wife first. So the son didn't want his mother to date. So you see what happens? This is what happens when you have son-husband relationships. And in the end, there's a lot of dysfunction. Now, it's nothing wrong with being close to your mother, okay? But there must be some boundaries. And that even goes with dads. Now, there was a show out there called Smothered, and I'll bring that back as well to show some of the videos up there, because I want everybody to know that this is actually happening in today's world. Let me check out the poll here so I can give you the tallies here. I'm going to end it with, I got the answers that I needed. Are processed foods good for you? 28 votes, 14% yes, 86% no. I've ended that poll. So you got the results. 28 votes for processed food. 14% said yes. 86% said no. Again, there's a lot of dysfunction out here. Shout out to Brian Davis. What's going on, brother? Came up. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. But again, there's a lot of dysfunction when it comes to a number of individuals out here. And this is why you have to be very careful. Now, I am not saying not to love your mother. I'm not saying to love your family. But trying to have a relationship while your family believes your life should be surrounded around them, the person that you're involved with is always going to be on the outside. Now, is that fair to them? No. Time is very precious. And a number of these individuals who won't let their sons go, number one, are immature themselves. Number two, they're not happy with their lives. And number three, nobody has asked what's going on with the husbands. A number of these individuals, except for Liz, had a husband. Well, the Caucasian lady who had the mixed brother named Brian, she doesn't have a husband either. But I've never seen a mother, kids go on a honeymoon. And this is what I talk about pyramid. If you're going to be at the bottom of the pyramid, whether you're a man or a woman, you don't need that relationship. Now, I Love a Mama's Boy is the son-husband version of the sister-daughter relationship of another show that I did a while back called Smothered. These types of relationships with your mother, and you see what mothers do? Mothers don't have any boundaries. And with their sons, it's a lot of love. And I know the mothers really care about their sons. I'm not going to say that they don't. But in the end, they really want the son to be near them. I mean, do you think being in that son's shoes and in the rest of these sons getting treated like a king from their own mother, do you think they want to give that life up? No, they don't want to give that life up. Because when they get out in the real world and have to deal with this modern day woman is not going to cater to him like that. And these moms aren't stupid. They already know that. That's why they hold all of the cards over their sons. And these sons know it. I mean, 2 of them were still living at home over 30 years old. That's insane. Shout out to brother Isaiah. Brothers should stay away from moms that don't want you to have a girlfriend until you get older. That's a westernized mindset. That's how a lot of guys become gay or feminized. True. And if you look at these guys, even though they work out, they play sports, they don't have any masculinity in them. They're weak. They can't stand up for themselves because their mother is always going to do the work for them. Now, you think about this. The ones that have fathers, the marriage between that mother and that father, or the father stays away because he's a very docile man too. He lets the mother run the show. This is why in this westernized market today, relationships are a joke. For the most part, individuals, they're not very smart. They don't understand when to cut the apron strings. Mommy always makes everything available to these boys out here. Now, the big question is, what happens when the moms pass away? What are these boys going to do? And they're boys. I call them boys. I mean, they can't cook for themselves. They can't wash their own clothes. They can't fix a car. Mommy has done everything for them. And at the end of the day, these boys are always going to be feminine. And they're proud to be feminine. Did you see the decision making of some of them? It's like they're running from their mothers. And when you don't have a man in place, shout out to Brother Nate. He says, proper man in place. This is what you get. This is why I've always said family can be overrated, because it can be. Family is supposed to be a support system. family is supposed to help guide you to grow so you'll develop your own family. These moms haven't done that. These moms are holding on to something that they had. So these boys, and I call them boys, they can't mature. And when they can't mature, they're not going to be the men who are going to be leaders. They're not going to be men who are going to grow. They're not going to be men who will be able to compete. I mean, in one clip, I showed you the mother and son working at the same place together. That's insane. And I got more clips to show you on I Love a Mama's Boy. And what I'm going to do with the show, before I put it up on a live, I'm going to pre-record it. I'm going to go through the spew or the spiel, and then I'm going to put it up on my live because it's me who's doing the videos. But in the end, guys and gals, you got to be mindful of the family that you're dealing with. I know we're always told when you marry into the family. Look at how the family operates. See if that's where you want to go. And also, for this old cliche, and thank you, Brother Matt, for coming up on the panel. I know your phone probably died, but I appreciate you for coming up on the panel. Thank you, Mahogany, for coming up on the panel as well. But going back to summarize everything, when it comes to happy life, happy wife, in the end, it's not about her happiness. It's about the peacefulness of the relationship. And the old cliche, if mom's happy, everyone's happy. It's not about the mom. Again, if you have structure, what needs to happen is, in the end, you have to have individuals, man and woman, who know their roles. Shout out to Brother Isaiah. One day we have to do an international podcast. Well, we can do that. Just let me know. But when it comes to roles in a relationship is a two-way street. And too often we men allow it to go one way because we're not going to get sex from this woman. Listen, brothers, you don't need it. If you have to do a lot of work to get little production from her just to make her happy, don't even deal with her because you're going to cause yourself a lot of stress and you may end up in the graveyard. And also, when it comes to health, because I connected all of these topics together, for individuals, you might think it's crazy, but you need to check the color of your poop because that indicates what you're eating. That also indicates if you have some bleeding going on. I showed you the chart. I showed you what abnormal poop looks like and what normal poop looks like. You need to check yourself into a doctor if you believe that you have diarrhea, you have bleeding stools, you need to add more liquid and more fiber to your diet as well. Because in the end, you want to maintain your health. Health is paramount. And as I indicated, there are a number of individuals who are African American singers like Barry White, Teddy Pendergrass, Luther Vandross, Rick James. They died and they didn't hit 60. You don't want complications. And when it comes to the food that we eat, it's a lot of chemical that they're putting in the food. And I just want to say this so you understand. When it comes to life, you only live one time. You want to make the best of it. Because in the end, do you want to have a future? Or you want to live for today? The choice is yours. And that's my commentary for this edition of the 401 Talk Zone radio show right here on YouTube. If you like what I just presented, please comment, share, and subscribe. And if you're looking for some science, technology, engineering, and math, check out my second channel called the QCIS channel, formerly the Mind to STEM channel. On that channel, you get a daily dose of science, technology, engineering, and math. Now, if you cannot find me on YouTube, you can check me out on Twitter. Now, when it comes to the QCIS channel, I take it one step further. Besides Twitter for the QCIS channel, since it's a professional channel, I put that channel on LinkedIn. So you can find me there. Because in the end, I'm going to leave you with this. Be blessed for what you have. Don't worry about what you don't have. Always know that the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. And for individuals, when I put out content, it's not all. But if some of you are offended, I'm going to share this with you. If it doesn't apply, let it fly. But if the shoe fits, wear it. If you don't like the shoe, change it. I'll be up next week with some more live streams. But I'm also continuing to do some pre-recorded content. And I'm going to get more into I Love a Mama's Boy. And if I see any other shows out there like 90 Day Fiancé, I'm going to bring that to the forefront as well. Although they're reality shows, I connect them to what's going on in real life because it's happening. There are a lot of selfish people out here, a lot of deceptive people out here, and I just want to make people aware of what's going on. And again, shout out to the chat, shout out to Mahogany Roots and Brother Matt, who participated on the panel tonight. And once again, thank you for listening to this edition of the 401 Talk Zone radio show right here on YouTube. Till next time, my name is Leon Jones. I want you all to have a wonderful and gracious evening. God bless you. I'm out.